USAA Insurance. Making insurance easy is our duty. Eligibility restrictions apply. Insurance provided by United Services Automobile Association and its affiliates, San Antonio, Texas.
They say credit belongs to the man in the arena who spends himself in a worthy cause. The glory is reserved for the few who, no matter what, answer the call to enter the arena. It echoes out, reverberating across the globe. It only acts to reach the bold, never the timid. The call delivers victory to the deserving and rewards the devoted. For when your time comes, there is only one option. Enter the arena. Fight for the call.
It is the final day of the Chicago home series, and it is sure to be a banger indeed, friends. Welcome to the Call of Duty League. To the final day here, we are bound to have a wonderful time. Now, sadly, Lottie is still unwell, so you got a bit of a different crew today. But up first, of course, the Ravens taking on the Mutineers. They're warming up, getting all ready for today's action. But the action truly starts right here and now. And the HQ brought to you by USAA. As we said, the pulchritudinous Praggy, she's unwell today. So you got yourself Miles, you got a Study, and a Nameless on the end over there. And we are very, very excited to bring you the goods today. A fantastic day of games, truly the best of the week without a shadow of a doubt. But let's get straight into this, Nameless. You know, we want to go from the start of the show to the very end of the show. Let's talk a little bit about OpTic versus FaZe, because it's going to be a fantastic matchup whatever either way it goes, and let's give the fans what they want, mate. But what do we need to see OpTic do to pick up the win today?
Yeah, I mean, in their last couple of weeks, OpTic has been fantastic. They fixed the majority of their mistakes in respawn. Their search and destroy has been lights out. They're starting to win their controls again. But looking at this match versus FaZe, the last time that they matched up, I know OpTic was in their slump, but they got bodied. So the one player that I want to isolate, and rarely do I isolate one player, but I think you need to go above and beyond when you go up against FaZe, is Dashy. He needs to step it up. I mean, in that series, he was sitting at like a 0.5 overall throughout all three maps. And, you know, nobody in particular played well, but for your superstar player going up against a team like FaZe, even if you're on point, they can still edge you out simply by their talent. So you have to go above and beyond. So I'm looking at him today to make a statement and show why he's still a superstar.
Yeah, and for me, for OpTic to come out and get this win, it's going to be on the SMG duo. And it's going to be a lot because last time that these guys matched up at that stage 3, Scump and Envoy just didn't play well. I'm pretty sure Envoy was sitting at a 0.4. It just wasn't what we were expecting. Obviously, that's when OpTic were in a slump. They go on to the major, they start to build some momentum, they get a top 4 placing, and they were just looking really good in their respawns. And they chained it into that match versus Minnesota. You had Envoy who put up a 1.3 performance, which is insane, and followed by him is Scump with a 1.2. And you're going to need both of those players today to really play well and play at such a high level to slow down the pressure from the Tiny Terrors.
Tiny Terrors are a team that are very tough to get through. Another team that was very difficult to get through, but apparently a major upset we saw go their way was, of course, Toronto Ultra. They're going to be taking on Empire today. We saw the Florida Mutineers bring them down. Gentlemen, what do we need to see out of the Empire to bring them down? Nameless, we'll start with you first, mate.
Yeah, this is an interesting match because we're trying to figure out how good Empire truly is, and then we're looking at Toronto, like, are they on the downward trajectory or will they bounce back? And in their last series that we saw in Search and Destroy, that wasn't the same Toronto Ultra that we saw throughout the last 2 stages. They were losing a lot of early fights, they were getting overwhelmed in Search, and on the flip side of that, you look at Empire, and their Search and Destroy was fantastic. They were clutching up rounds, Crim with a huge round 11 clutch, and then going into the standoff, they were absolutely dominant. The same map that Ultra didn't look great at all, so Empire have an opportunity here in the vetoes. Now that standoff has come in, it gives them some wiggle room to play around with these maps. So I think the way Empire gets it done is by winning the S&Ds.
And for me, the Dallas Empire, the way that they get the job done is, once again, the SMGs, but not this time to shut down the SMGs on the side of Toronto, to really just cause havoc for the ARs on their side. And that's exactly what Florida were able to do so well versus Toronto. You had Neptune and Havoc both sitting over a 1.0 KD. They were applying so much pressure on the map that the assault rifle players on Toronto, they just kept on getting pushed out, and it was really difficult. You know what you're going to get out of Insight. He's still sitting pretty consistent with that 0.95, but Cammy at a 0.77, this is a guy who's been great for this team in that flex role. He puts up an amazing amount of kills in those respawns, but just the pressure out of those submachine guns really slowed down his gameplay. So I'm looking at Vivid, who just didn't have a good debut yesterday with a 0.6. Him and Shotzzy really need to be on point today.
Jeremy started with words of wisdom there for the submachine gun players across the lead. We love it, gentlemen. Right, let's give some words of wisdom, though, now to the first matchup we've got today. We, of course, have the Ravens taking on the Florida Mutineers. Big comeback for the Ravens now, I think, mate. I mean, they had a good day yesterday against Empire. They lost out in that game 5. It is what it is. C'est la vie. But, boys, what do we need to see for the Ravens to bring home a win? Because eventually it is coming home, Nameless. Just the win today, what have they got to do?
Yeah, so I really like this Ravens team. I like the change that they made. Watching Alex come back in after, taking a personal break and really not playing any competitive COD for a while. He was lights out, especially in the control. The balance with Afro was fantastic. Afro, for his debut, went off in that match. So, I mean, looking at them, I want them to do the same thing that they did versus Empire. They could have won that series 3-1 if they were to shut out Crim in that round 11, and they had an opportunity to do it. So, it will be the search and destroy. Obviously, in the first match, when you're playing as a new squad, search is going to be a little tough to master your strategy, right? So now that they've had some time to review that VOD and come back stronger today, I think they have a really good opportunity in this match versus Mutineers, who can be very hot and cold, right? And this is a Raven squad who in hardpoint has been consistent. And the guy on your screen right there, when he gets to that search, you got to find him. He was lights out as S&D. He was getting behind enemy lines, just being a nuisance. He's starting to feel free. So catch Havoc, and you'll have a good time.
And for me, the Ravens, one thing that they got to try to focus on to try to take down Florida is to try to get Polex on towards those third submachine gun maps. Maps like Garrison, maps like Apocalypses, where they really show their true strengths. You have the new SMG duo who played fantastic yesterday, both over a 1.0 KD. But when they are putting up those stats, they're allowing players like Polex to really just do whatever he wants. The guy had a 1.2 in the series yesterday, even though it was a loss. And just taking a look at these maps the most for our first series, the one that really sticks out is going to be Checkmate. Because Checkmate, we know that is their best control map, and the way that Polex decides to play it, he's just always shutting down plane, regardless if it's an AR or a submachine gun in his hands. So he will allow his SMG players to really just go out there and apply that pressure. So it's going to be hard, but I feel like with Polex and the new guys that he have around town, they can definitely get the job done.
Well, there we go. Study. Eyes on Polex, eyes on Havoc. Should be a fantastic series ahead of us, friends. I am very excited to see how far this one can go. Of course, we saw some success from London yesterday, but will they be able to pick up a big dub today? That'd be ideal. Again, am I being an unabashedly, biased caster at the moment? Yes, I am. We'll see how we go. But friends, a lot of games to play today. Let's take a look at the final day here of the Chicago home series. This schedule brought to you by the US Army. Florida Mutineers versus the Ravens up first. Then after that, the Dallas Empire taking on our Stage 2 champions, Toronto Ultra. And then our Game Fuel marquee match, OpTic versus FaZe. That is bound to be a bloodbath, a slobber knocker, a humdinger, an absolute banger. We cannot wait to get down there. But again, a long day of fantastic games. We've certainly left the best for last. Well, this was the HQ, brought to you by the USAA. And after the quick break, we'll be going to two of my favorite people on the Face the Plan to take you through map number 1 is, of course, Miles and is, of course, Chance. See you after the break.
The Call of Duty League is presented by T-Mobile, now America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G. USAA Insurance. You can't hit restart in real life. Get insurance.
We are back, almost ready to get into our first matchup of the day here, and a massive thanks to the desk. That host, definitely one of my top 2 faves in esports, and it ain't number 2. Ravens versus Mutineers, though, ready to get into this one. Players warming up, getting ready to go into Moscow Hardpoint. We had a very brief look at the maps and modes going into this one, but let's have a look at yesterday's Stars chance. We talk about the rookies a lot, but what about the rest of the bunch, mate? Look at these brilliant players. Mack going absolutely huge yesterday. 1.5 overall, 72 and 48 against some of the best players in the world, and Asim right behind him there, brother.
I mean, those are just 2 guys that I think have really molded themselves into, honestly, almost like veteran-style players, right? Asim just makes moves on the maps. He is one of the guys that I think for the past few years that we've just been watching him grow as a player, and it's been a special thing to watch.
It's been great to watch him again. Asim, a player that New York Subliners didn't necessarily desire on the roster to begin with, but boy, I bet they're glad they've got him now, playing out of his damn mind. Much love for Asim there. But again, friends, we've got a wonderful day of games ahead of us. Let's just get into this one. Let's just get rolling here. They took down one of the biggest teams in the league. Can they find that success against someone who's not quite at the tippity top of the boards? Let's meet him now, the Florida Mutineers.
The dictionary defines redemption as the deliverance of persons or things from the possession and power of captors.
It is a 3-0 victory over the Florida Mutineers.
As the act of making something better. As the act of making up for a loss.
It is over, and that is a shocker for the Mutineers.
We define it as inevitable. You can count our KD. You can count our headshots. You can count our hill time. What you can't do is count us out.
Florida Mutineers, they upset our Stage 2 champions, Toronto Ultra, early in the week, but now the question for me is, you bring the Thunder against such a top squad, are you going to loosen the reins a little bit when it comes to one of the lower leading horses in the pack? Awakening Skies, Havoc, and Neptune chance. Strength to strength, I really feel like. I mean, they're in a good bit of form now. They were my dark horse going into major number 3. What do you think they're going to be doing today, brother?
I think they might actually see a fair bit of success. I know inconsistency has sort of been the theme for this squad, but I think we've seen Neptune kind of come into his own. I think we're seeing Awakening Skies just play very consistent Call of Duty. In Havoc, when he first got brought on the squad, had a bit of a rough start. Since then, he's been doing incredibly well. I mean, I think even from what we saw from Stage 3 from the guys, they were beating the teams they were supposed to beat, and their losses include the teams of like Atlanta and Chicago. If they're not beating teams like Toronto, I think they're on the up and up, and I think it might finally be that sort of time of the year for these guys where they really start to find their groove.
Gotta find that groove sooner rather than later. Champs is encroaching on us very, very fast, friends. Not a lot of time left to get those CDL points. Now their opponents, though, in the red corner. Now looking at a very, very different roster after team changes. Plenty have come through. Will be this one they stick it out and find some success with. Let's find out. Let's meet them now, the London Royal Ravens. Ravens still continuously looking for that perfect recipe for success. Will it be this one chance to taste the finest? Afro, Paulex, Shawnee, and Alex. A lot of changes for the poor Ravens. Again, it's been a headache for them without a shadow of a doubt. They are starting to look a little bit fierce on the map. We saw that series against Dallas Empire all the way to Game 5. Very exciting series, wonderful to watch. Will they have the mettle, the resolve to go over the finish line here against a team that they're turning heads, man? Florida is going to be a good opponent for them without a doubt.
I mean, they're certainly a threat. And I would say that is a powerful headset to be keeping that hair down. But when we take a look at the game fuel keys to victory, in my mind for the Ravens, it has been the theme for the entire year. They just need to start winning some searches, man. You got to find some dubs. 0-5 in round 11s, 1-6 in game 5s. How different your year could be if these S&Ds start going their way, even from the series we saw the other day against the Dallas Empire with the new squad. If they clutch up in a round 11, they get a 3-1 win, and we're talking about this team in a very different way. So they need a little bit more ice, a little bit more S&D sort of prowess. Hopefully they start to bring it together. And even for the second point, you're playing against Florida, you're playing them on maps like Moscow and Checkmate. You got to be prepared for the long routes and either making the reads on Havoc going to flank you or making sure that while he's going on these long routes, you take your time and just fly at the opposing ARs. You just got to make use of the type of team you're playing against.
Interesting again, exciting as always to see the likes of Pulex go up against those big wakes, see how they roll. But chance to talk about the Florida Mutineers. Game fuel keys to victory now, mate. What have they got to do to keep the success rolling?
Well, they banned Apocalypse, which I think is a very nice start, right? London was like 5-0 on the map, the nice and perfect record. So you dodge them there, but also you got to come off to a hot start. They're past 9 series in a row. If they win the first hard point, they win the series. If they lose the first hard point, they lose the series. Even overall, they have a 13-11 record in game 1s, which is respectable for hardpoint. 5-10 in game 4s. They just struggle as the series have gone down the line, or if they're not finding the wins early on, they end up just getting bullied out. So they come out to a hot start, making sure the guns are nice and warm and have that confidence right from the get-go. They'll be in a much better place, especially so because the game number 5 we have, the Moscow S&D, well, the opposing team, London, 0-6 on that map. So I think they are not going to be afraid of a game 5.
There we go. Maps and modes on your screen. Bookended there by the Moscow hardpoint and search and destroy in the middle, a bit of checkmate, and that express to get us into it. This should be a lot of fun, mate. What a series will be. And as you've said it, the stats are there. Statistically, London, they need to win the series early on. Once you get past that, you know, map number 3 and 4, that's where things get a bit dicey for them. But again, as you said, for Florida, they've lost, the last 9 series where they don't win the first map. So, win the first for Florida and you make things real spicy for London. Don't let it get to that game 5. Oof, this should be a delightful series to start things off here. The final day of the Chicago home series. We hope you've enjoyed the show so far. Oh, let's get into this one, brother. Let's go straight into this one. We're over to Moscow. Get your passports out, get them stamped, get your very best Russian accents ready because we're going to play some hardpoint. Here we go, friends. Map number 1, starting very, very soon.
And again, just to highlight the importance of the map number 1, it is also Florida's map pick. So the first map is always going to be the sort of crux for the team, setting the stage for the remainder of the series. If it's their map pick and it's mapped like this, you need to expect for Florida to come away with the win. But at the same time, for London, I mean, we've only seen these guys play 1 series with the 2 new guys on the team. There is still a lot to learn. And I think even London, some of the rosters they've had, they've actually been surprisingly good on this map. We just don't know what what Afro and Alex are going to bring back to the table.
Yep. Well, we'll see if the AA duo can keep things up and about. Here we go to the first hard point. A bit of a headbutt. Paul's going to be the only one not involved in this fight, watching that street flank. Same could be said for Neptune now, looking to flank on the other side. But it's that 3v3 on point. That's the real focal moment of this opening map. And here we go. Afro may be the first to get that draw. Some blood. There it is. Any more would have been ideal, but look, it's not going to be the case. The contest continues, Chance. There's not a lot of points going to be gathered here. It's just about 30 seconds has passed in this hard point. And there we go. London finally come out on top, if only for a brief second.
As there's just a bloodbath of trades inside the hill. Seany eventually gets dropped, but this is Florida. I mean, I was thinking about the long routes potentially. They're not sending anybody on the flanks. They are just trying to stack up in this hill and try to accrue as much time on P1 as possible. You see Neptune right now, he's thinking about this full flank, but frankly, this is a gunfight Paul X should win 9 out of 10 times, if not more, or maybe Neptune might be able to find himself some nice timing, but as it stands right now, everyone on London doing a very strong job on this rotation, keeping everyone at bay, except for Neptune, the only window of opportunity, and he's found his way through.
Oh, he slipped on through, and the kill team is out looking for him, and it's on Alex. Man's got a bounty on his head, and he's looking for him. Threat level high. Neptune's still good, though. Fighting from the back. Managed to take 1. That's going to give the opportunity now for the Florida Mutineers to get on point, and a good job, though, as Alex is now going to be playing from the back. How long can he keep this play alive for? There's 1. Nice job now on the pinch. Ravens holding it together. Mutineers will have that early time, but this should dissipate quite quickly as the next 30 seconds. As Alex, nice footwork. Not enough to get the job done, but there you go. Ravens and Florida Mutineers will now contest this point. Meanwhile, though, Afro, way on the other side of the map, getting ready for hard point number 3.
Oh, this is just a scrappy hill as well, right? You're actually going to have on this rotation Florida up by quite a bit. You see Havoc gets picked, but Neptune once again has an opportunity to make a big play. He is the sole reason why Florida had any success on this previous hill. Now he's found himself around back. You got Havoc actually inside the point, and Paul X, you don't even have to take this gunfight. Let your teammates take him down. The kills come through. Neptune right now playing out of his mind with just like cerebral plays. He doesn't even have to win these gunfights, but he has won them 2 rotations.
2 rotations, and look at the score. I mean, it's making the difference right now as Mutineers, once again, holding that line down. Rush upon Havoc and the keys to victory, and on the desk, again, being the X Factor and the crucial player to watch in the Search and Destroys, but he's having a decent time now in the hard points. Meanwhile, Seany, he and Afro now trying to clear out the bank. One note at a time, they're going to get to the back, and it's going to be big wake. It'll be the payday. There it is. The kill comes through. An opening in the back line now. Here comes the trade. Seany finds one. Alex can't quite get it done. Neptune makes safe the backside of the map. Spawn still in the favor of the Florida Mutineers, and London have still got a shot at this, but there's not a lot of time left. So make sure they control bank side of the map, and that lower, like left-hand side, south side of the map has to remain theirs for now. Boulevard coming up in 8 seconds. Chart so far, Mutineers looking strong.
And I feel like this is almost round 3 of Neptune maybe getting set up to find some sort of solo break onto the hill, but he gets dropped, and that means London finally an opportunity for them to set up and get some hill time. They do have to deal with the full flank that's coming in, and once again, Neptune potentially going to be that guy. This is what Awakening is waiting for, trying to pinch this hill, everybody at the exact same time, but London picking them apart along the way, and up to Neptune, maybe again, to try to be the hero.
I mean, we're seeing him make those hero plays, but I'd love to hear what it sounds like when he's trying to get the job done as well. So let's go for a quick Astro Gaming listen in with the Florida Mutineers.
One shot. Johnny bust one shot, then one's right side laying down. Right, gold weak.
Alright, I'm laying down. Mid. Yo, one's rat. Yo, I can get that right. You're still right.
Yeah, one's still rat. He's still rat.
They can go new
Push me out, Paul. Paul, push me out street. He's on the bus, I thought, there's 20 P3.
I'm backing up P3. Wait, one's here.
I'm behind him, I'm gonna block P2, just in case. He went around. No, street dead. Yo, P2.
Play your life laundry, Joe. Play your life laundry.
Every half ball. Yeah, grab gold with me. Nothing half ball. I can't be gold.
He came out, he's watch the door then.
We can get that spot, weak as fuck.
Behind us, behind us, bro.
On P3. Laundry Paul dead.
Hold on.
Grab gold with me. Yo, you gotta push out, hill. Come on.
He's on your shadow, he's gonna corner hill.
I need him right side, hill. Oh, street.
Money behind us.
What's on hill, Shawnee? Two bottom eskies.
One shot bottom eskies.
Yeah. Hold. Back. I run away. Yeah, second laundry. I'm seeing peeking laundry. Yo, laundry window, left corner.
Eskies.
Left corner laundry window. Dead.
Let's check, hit the back.
Nice, let's go. Two ult, last two ult. Let's fucking go. I'm cutting him off. Oh, do not. I'm chilling. I got one.
Right side.
I got one. Nice.
Laundry's open.
I'm gonna say laundry. You guys remember the setup.
Yeah.
I got hill. One's under laundry.
Heard it. I have street.
Yeah, I'm in hill.
Alright, I phone.
I flashed myself. Fuck. Both the laundry. Both on left. Three laundry window.
Heard it.
Chance, stormy seas right now for the Mutineers. The comms don't seem too bad, but they are starting to lose their grip of the game.
I need like an Awakening interview just so I can distinguish his voice better. Every time in the listen-ins, I can just, I struggle to figure out who he actually is still to this day. But I mean, either way, Florida, you know, the comms are certainly, I mean, interesting, I suppose to say the least. But hey, they have taken a great deal of time to make sure they secure these P2 rotations. And well, the final 30 seconds on it, they're looking to be squared up and ready to go. And frankly, if Havoc just starts to find some kills, and this is 3 in a row for him, I think Florida could start to open the game up because he was, quadruple negative at a certain point. And that's when they had about a 50-point lead. His gun gets hot. That can be very concerning for London.
I did say that when he was flying through bank, I was like, Havoc's not having a bad game either. And the stats came up during the listening. He was 3 in 11. I was like, sheesh, or something to that effect. Well, either way, the Mutineers have got themselves hold of the last hard point, and they're winding up for the hit now on towards third. Ravens in position, and we are waiting for this one. This is search and destroy all of a sudden, friends. And here we go. Up and about. Paul gets turned into dust. Havoc finds another one on the flank. Beautiful stuff out of the Mutineers. That was a immaculate break. They played it patiently, the guns were perfect, and just like that, the hard point's theirs. Fight number 2, though. Here we go. Ding, ding. The bell has been rung. Get at it, boys. Awakening's going to find another one. Afro. Alex gets back onto the flank. Havoc now in the middle of the point. And just like that, it's a 3-piece for Alex and the Ravens back in the point.
Oh my God. Well, I love the idea, right? It's, you know, if you're giving up a team the full rotation in P2, you know, they spread the map. Why not just hit the front? It is genius. Unfortunately, after that, they just made a terrible read on the spawns. They're sitting there watching the flank, worried about the spawn out. Meanwhile, everyone just immediately spawns up in the back steps and runs straight through elbow and makes the big play. But I mean, I suppose at the end of the day, you chip away some time on P3 after giving up that full rotation. It's not the worst thing in the world. And, well, Florida still have that 20-point lead. And see if they can turn that into something just a little bit more. Unfortunately, right now, they don't have bank control, so the gunfight's not too easy.
They're struggling from this spot. They've got 2 players out in the street with the guns down on it, and Skies managed to get 1, but it's big weight. Takes 2 with him before going down. Shorty now from the top window. He doesn't get much, so that means that side of the map is still not safe. Mutineers now. The charge, which should be an easy one, straight on towards the hard point. Time ticking their way. Ravens unable to get themselves a contest in that spot. The guns too solid there of the Mutineers. They keep ringing out over the Russian streets. So far, mate, it's some big stuff out of Awakening as per usual. 16 and 12, presence being felt right now. The Ravens finally get themselves into this one. Decent amount of time to be had. Once again, the contest there has now been made safe. Guy is trying to find a cheeky angle here, and it is a bloodbath. Back and forth here on the boulevard.
And Alex might have found an opening, by the way. If you just keep an eye on the minimap, he's found the one spot, the avenue for him to go on any sort of flank. And, well, now he's causing problems. I mean, Awakening started on the street. He just wrapped all the way around the map to go through Eskies. But good news, you take down Alex and you keep those spawns. Of course, now Laundry side is open, and Afro once again, they are finding the timings to get through. They just haven't been able to pick up the 2-piece, and Afro's looking for it. If he finds the kill, and he does, now the spawn out is going to happen. Massive moment for London. Afro trying to do what he can with the big play.
Trying to find another one. Havoc, howdy doody, mate. 3 in a row. Neptune's going to be coming down the street as well, and these are the mean streets of Moscow, not necessarily the West Midlands, and Afro's running the show so far. 30 seconds still left to be had on the middle of the hard point. It's still going to be a back and forth there. Alex and Afro now trying to contest this one, but still that mid-street, all safe. Hard point number 2 in this set should be going the way of Ravens, but the contest here is going to be essential for them. That's that. Contest are going to be done. Going to get a player back on that one. Try not to let Mutineers get as many points here as they can, chance. And there we go. Hard point number 2 in the set. Up and about on the minimap. Ravens in control.
And this is a big moment as well, right? Ravens have been fighting from behind the entire game. Finally, they're going to be at least potentially able to set themselves up here to actually claim the lead.
Hello.
And well, Afro, again, that leading man with the SMG, trying to clear the pace, and Awakening taking a very long route. I mean, he's already backed up all the way to gold. I don't know if he's playing for score streaks, but this is just free reign for Afro, who actually is playing for streaks right now, but he can't get them. He had the read. But at the very least, I mean, Florida, they are just such a long way from actually even attempting to break this hill. You get one opportunity to make this happen.
In that race between the Tortoise and the nice hair, it was the Tortoise that won that one, but back in the spawn we go. Afro being pushed back now from Bank. Havoc's going to get cut down in mid. Open hard point. No one able to get much time. Look how close the scoreline is, though. Rotation's already underway. 20 seconds still left to be had here. Ravens might be able to get it, but look at that rotation. It was going to be, I believe it was number 7, Shawnee, trying to hit that, but 3 members of the Mutineers lined up over towards Fountain already. This is going to be big. Time going the way of the Ravens for now. They've got to go huge. Keep an eye on Alex, though. Lower left-hand side of the minimap. Number 8. He's going to be the one to make the play for London now.
And it looks like Florida are almost concerned about just the front push as well, right? They've just like almost double stacked into the elbow, waiting for it. But instead, Awakening finds the flank, and he gets the information. That nade might do some damage. The trophy going to save him, but the gun is not. The 3-piece to secure the rotation. And frankly, for Florida, I mean, they can win the game on this hill. There's still a fair bit of time to go, but they cannot get past this front line.
That was an incredible pinch. Perfect timing from Awakening. Same thing again, though, from London. They're like, if you don't succeed, try again. Oh, this one's going a little better, but there we go. Nice bait and switch. Afro and Alex, the 2 submachine guns of the Ravens now, trying to make their way through the back. Awakening, though, once again, a brick wall. Doesn't let a single player get through, whether it's the Diamatti or the Krieg. Putting in the work. Here we go. Final 10 for the win. For the Florida Mutineers. They have to get a contest here. The Ravens have got to get on point, and Awakening still alive and kicking big. Wake Skies, ripping them through, and that could be that. There's no one left to contest. The line will hold, and the Mutineers will take map number 1.
Oh, and Sky's just giggling his way to victory as well. A very interesting game, I'd say overall, right? You got the opportunity for Florida 4 stacks the front of the hill to break in for P3, and it works beautifully for all of 5 seconds before Alex walks in and picks up the big kills. You got Awakening taking long routes, late pinches, whatever it's going to be, but finding the big kills and delivering in the big moments when he needs to. Man was on point all game, and frankly, if it comes down to that final P3 hill and you pick up a 3-piece, it's absolutely golden. That's all you could ask from the young man.
Speaking of delivering, though, I think we've got a tweet coming in just a brief moment, but a nice start either way. Big wake in our social soundboard, Power Astro. They think I'm quiet, but really I'm observing. Oh, what a stoic piece of literature there from Awakening. The man truly is a menace on the map, but lets his gameplay do the talking, Chance. I mean, he maybe can't hear him in the listening at all because he doesn't need to say a whole lot, mate. You know, his teammates, he's got a couple of motor mouths on his squad there in the form of Skies and Havoc. Squad's looking great so far. Nice start to the series here for the Mutineers. Now, statistically, they win the first map in the series. They typically win the series, but we'll see how things go. Ravens have had their struggles on Search and Destroy, but a quick look at the stats, and it was nothing but love there. For again, big wake, going huge. We saw struggles out of Havoc early on, does finish out quite strong. On the other side of the board, though, big damage out of Seany. Not quite enough to get the job done, and again, the Ravens playing from the back foot from the get-go there on Moscow. That's that. Map number 1 is complete. An express search and destroy. Coming up after this very, very quick commercial break, we will continue this series here in the Call of Duty League.
The Call of Duty League is presented by the US Army. What's your warrior? The new Code Battle Dog Pack is free for military service members and veterans, courtesy of USAA. Scan the QR code or visit callofdutyleague.com/USAA to redeem.
Map number 1, a thing of the past. The Mutineers take the lead here in the series versus the London Royal Ravens. We've got ourselves a Search and Destroy coming up next. We're going to express for that one. Shots, mate, how you doing, man? That was a fun map. That was a good one. Statistically, we've got a Mutineers game, you know, going our way so far. Ravens not so hot when it comes to the Search and Destroy. What are your feels, brother? I've said brother 9
I'm going to again just reiterate the stat. The past 9 series, the first map is accurately predicted which way it goes for Florida. If they win the first hard point, they win the series. If they lose it, they lose the series. So things are looking good. Obviously, as we go later towards the series, we start to get to the map picks that London wanted to play, including the Express and even the map 4 checkmate hard point. So London and team very capable of the bounce back, but I mean, frankly, it's been so long since we've seen them win a Search and Destroy. We got to see if Afro and Alex can provide.
Gotten the taste of strawberries, Mr. Threader. But let's talk about Afro and Alex, the newcomers to the team. Of course, Alex making the return. Afro making his debut against Dallas Empire. And mate, the stats were not bad whatsoever. Good showing out of the 2As here. But mate, they've still got to go a big one here against the Mutineers.
And I think, honestly, Afro, he had to run through the gauntlet, at least when it comes to searches, right? He had a 1v1 against Crim, Shotzzy, and iLLeY all at different times. Like, just a menace of a lineup he has to go against. But hey, any experience is good experience, especially when you're going against the world champs. And hopefully this team can take something from that, right? The other day, when they lost to Dallas Empire in one of the Search and Destroys, it was on Express. Now they've had some more reps as a team. You get an experience against a team like the Empire. This would be the moment, right? You're down 0 in the series. convert that into a win for the game number 2. And this is a team that'll be all vibes. That'll be feeling great later in the series.
Nothing but vibes. You see everyone's enjoying themselves. Seany will make his triumphant return in just a brief moment because we're almost ready to get into map number 2. Express Search and Destroy on its way. And again, those of you who are Dallas Empire fans, they're coming up just after this one playing Toronto Ultra. See how this series goes though. Again, mate, that search game, look, it was this map we saw yesterday against Dallas in London. You know, mixed success. It was an exciting map nonetheless. I think was it round 11? I forget, but it was a good one. A very fun one. Yeah, it was a sweaty one. Not the other day, but I think it's good out of London. You know, just keep hitting the nail on the head as many times as they possibly can, trying to find that perfect swing. Practice makes perfect here in the league, and you really do have to turn your weaknesses into your strengths. The vetoes, they'll kill you. They'll kill you in a series, and especially when it comes down to those majors where every map counts. See how it goes. But this is it, friends. Search and Destroy on Express, map number 2. Let's get it.
It was a round 11. I think they had like a 5-4 lead. Every single round was incredibly close as well. And again, experience potentially going to pay off for them. It is a very fast hit over towards A, which as you say that, well, Florida is already wrapped all the way around back. So they'll have the guns up, ready to go for this A engagement, and no flanks coming through yet, but the men moving out to bomb, but they do not have any trophies.
Oh, it was a catch from Afro. He poked out for a brief moment. Alex is a dead man. Too much damage from the Semtex there. Ball's going to have to go massive in this situation. Shorty covering the players through mid. Nice tags in the first. Alex gets topped, map control, loses his gunfight. Awakening should win this one. He should, I say he should, and he does. There it is, the kill comes through. Plenty of players left there for the bomb defusal. 25 on the clock, and we're gonna wait a little bit. Allow those charges to get ready. Again, trophy systems, that's what we're really playing for right now. And for both those members of the Mutineers, for Skies and Neptune, that is huge. Very, very big race here in the trophy economy race. They will be going into the next round, almost ready to go.
And, you know, just to stay on theme, if you had trophies, that strat can actually work. Going for the bomb, playing that early in the round, right? If you don't have any trophies, well, you eat a Semtex to the face, and, well, the second player just too tagged up from it. So, frankly, this is just easy and efficient work from Awakening. You hand him easy kills like this, he will make do. We saw the 3-piece on the Moscow just moments ago, where if you line up for him, he will decimate you and pick you apart. Nice round for Florida to get.
And not a bad start whatsoever. Good read again. They sent players towards B, and a second they didn't see anything thrown, they were like, it's an A hit. Going A, boys. He oscillated quickly. Here we go, though. Different looks now for Florida on offense. Much more of a heavy B push, but again, they've got options to dip tracks and make their way across map. Seany's going to be the one to slow him down there, though, as the conductor says Nabra. Slows them down just for the time being. Awakening watching those players trying to hit that flank. An aggressive defense now out of the Ravens, trying to push those players forward. Over to B we go, though, Chance. Wonder if the Ravens will get there in time for the fight.
Oh, over to B, and this bomb's going to get planted for free. This is the tried and true potential just retake from everywhere on the map, right? Seany's basically coming through his own spawn. You come through mid, and Paul X with a 74U. Talk about the Red Menace winning a big gunfight. That is the opening that the response is immediate. Florida now have a 3 versus 2 in their favor with the bomb down.
Yeah, that's nice. Still, Afro and Pull. Pull's managed to get real close. Afro on the flank, covered. Havoc wins it. Nice job out of the Mutineers. Decisive round once again. Bomb down, and they handle the attackers with ease. Fourth we go, Chance.
And that is just the classic spot. You can always expect someone to be here if that bomb gets planted on B, so maybe trying to bully her way through mid. Not the easiest thing in the world, and I think Alex gets caught there. Seany loses the gunfight on the potential pinch, and well, that is just a nice solid stand for Florida. 2-round advantage they will certainly be happy to have. And London, well, mixing things up quite a bit. 3 stacks straight through this mid hallway.
Like a special forces team. Look at them go. Shoulder to shoulder. Neptune. Oh, I've seen a lot of people. I'm going to try to fight them. I died, but I've got a lot of damage in. And the info is there. And Afro, oh no, it's a bit of a self-Semtex. Going to get rid of him there. Shorty trying to get involved in the fight. Alex up close, not able to get it done as Skies wins the gunfight. And the old shot punch there. 1v3 now for Seany. Not a lot of fun. 1v2. He's going to do what he can to battle his way out of this situation, but there are a lot of angles to check for Seany. And now that he is 18 HP, it should be all said and done. There it is. Mutineers, 3 in a row.
And I honestly don't even have an explanation for what happened that round. Didn't see the nade that Afro threw, but I mean, London has had, outside of the first round, a few opportunities to maybe convert the round, make something happen, but something always seeming to go wrong, falling apart. Still got Afro looking for his first kill. I think we were talking about the first blood front. I think Florida is 2 for 3 in the first blood that PaulX got. I mean, the response was just immediate. Florida honestly playing without too much pressure so far on Express. Once again on defense, another hefty stack over towards B. You see nothing, the entire team, or most of them at the very least, going for the rat back. And you see the way Florida is playing it, they're expecting some sort of flank to come through, but obviously, at least for the time being, that's not going to be the case unless PaulX starts to make a move.
Possible to make that play eventually, but I'm going to wait for those picks to come through. Afro's hearing a lot. So he'll probably taste the dust from the Semtex going off. Whoa! Run, Neptune! Oh, what a coordinated assault. That was basically a kill streak, man. 3 Semtex right on the spot. He lives to fight another day, though. On being planted. Afro and Alex trying to get the submachine guns forward. Shawnee watching them over from behind. It's going to come down to whoever gets those first bouts of damage. And the trades come through. Afro, oh, we saw this exact position yesterday against Dallas the other day. This guy's watching the flank. It is basically standing room only behind that planter. Waiting, we'll get that first blood. Here we go. Neptune onto the bomb. Oh, what a 2-piece it was. A little bit of help from his friends. All now 1v4. Mutineers! What a great round. 4-0.
Easy holds for them. And Awakening again just finds that first blood. That is the moment where he connects with it on Shawnee. And gets the best play because he finds the final player as well. Nice reads coming through, and I think for London, as soon as the triple Semtex doesn't find them the kill, as soon as they can't pick off Neptune crossing back to safety, well, you're just down all of your utility. The bomb gets planted effectively for free, and still Afro looking for his first kill. But hey, PaulX and Alex, it's not like they're doing too much better. That is 2 and 12 combined right now for 3 players.
Old-fashioned B hit. We're all here. What a stick over the top from Afro. What a throw it was. Neptune from the top rope. Wow, damage dealt, but no more kills to be had. 3v1 now for Neptune, but oh, they've lined up. No. Whoa. Sweet Caroline. That was almost one hell of a round, but the Ravens pull it back. I was off my chair for a moment there. Havoc nearly making the play. Oh my word. What was that round?
I think that round is very much just a delay in the communication, right? I think Neptune is screaming at Havoc. They are all one-shot challenge, just go. And you almost saw like the amount of time it takes for that to register. Havoc waiting just that extra second to challenge, and the players end up healing up. That was close to being some wizardry from the young man, but hey, that is a round for London. They'll take the sticks, man. When the Semtexes are connecting, London has a chance.
It was an ode to Kobe to start the round off, but man, we almost saw the play of the stage. Oh, here we go. The 2-man stack on the catwalk here. We've yet to see this one come out, and good tags. Awakening got a lot of damage there. Both those players will live to fight another day, and they will get away with it, but over towards the other side of the map we go. Let's Havoc and Skies. I mean, they are dicing some machine guns here. All can't quite get it done alone. No one there to really help out. Late push now from the Ravens. They're going to get towards that site. Shawnee's going to get one. It's a consolation kill. That bomb is down on site. They've got to fight their way forward to grab it. Oh, there you go.
Well, he picked it up, but now he's got to get out of dodge. And honestly, if it's Havoc with a bomb in hand, I was going to say he might just leave this completely. No time wasted on the call. Awakening currently clearing out the B site. You see, they don't have information on exactly where everybody on London is at, but Awakening's done his job, cleared it out, picked a side. Now you can get this bomb down for free.
Wait.
And even Skies can sort of play the late angle, or you can just try to pinch across the map, and Awakening finds the kill. The long routes from the AR player making the opening.
And we're going to go back over towards the B-bomb site now, and this is just going to keep London guessing. London have got no idea. They haven't got a bloody clue what's going on. The Mutineers playing them like a fiddle there. The 5th round win goes their way. This is map point to take them 2-0 in this series, and that back and forth between A and B, it just had the Ravens completely bamboozled. Mutineers looking fantastic on Express.
I mean, yeah, this is Florida doing whatever they want right now in the series. I think, you know, Havoc gets spotted in lockers. You're thinking the flank is going to be safe for the next, like, 30 seconds because there's no way Havoc sneaks up behind you. But turns out it's Awakening, not wasting any time, just playing hyper-aggressive on the flank. 7 kills to his name, which doesn't sound like a lot, but this is round number 7, so he just certainly kept the pace throughout this game. London back towards this A site, and frankly, the faster they go here, the better. And Afro knows it. No time wasting. He's just flying forward.
Great start. going to be the opening they needed, and Afro is going to push this advantage. Skies is an open target right now for him, but good spot to be in. Bomb does go down. They've got a lot of coverage up front. They have the flank covered, and the opportunity for Afro to deal a bit of damage. Skies, a nice flash, but no information out of it. Now to Afro to deal another deft blow. Oh, damage, no kill. Hunt's on. There's the trade. Nice work. As the picks come through. Still, Ravens with a slight advantage. 5v3 chance. Less than 20 on the clock. And Paul's going to surely seal the round here. But Neptune, not over yet. Not done yet for Neptune. 13 seconds on the clock. There it is. Whew. I got a little worried there. I saw the Ravens bunched up inside that train chance. Oh, God. 5-2, though. We go again.
There's no fear. Afro put too much work in that round to make sure they secured the win. It's actually pretty cool what he ended up doing, right? Finds the first blood, and then you just saw the players on Florida waiting for that flank to come through. I can't remember who it was that was on the steps, but they throw the stun for the little check, and they're like, hey, Afro's not there, we're good. Afro treated that as a go sign. Heard the stun go off, didn't hit him. He's like, this is my opening to make the break, and, well, immediately goes on the pinch. And it was Skies that he took down. Now I remember. But Afro putting in nice work, playing around the opponent's utility. And London, again, making things a little bit mixy. Once again, they went with the couple players through mid-strat. They're trying to work this zig hallway, but Awakening has been here once before.
Quiet rap gunfire across map. Paul with the first blood. Catches an open sky. Zzz. And now, still presence going in towards that A-bomb site. But Paul, he is so aggressive. Look at this. He's like, I'm gonna hit the flank. It's Neptune and Havoc, and he doesn't know there are two of them there, but they're gonna check the forward position, think it's wide open. Here comes the players in the flank, but big wake. Whew. Only managed to take one with him. That's gonna cause a bit of a ruffle though, but here comes Paul in from behind. Neptune, last player left alive. There's the noise. Tags are there. Neptune will stay alive. 1v2 now. He has bomb in hand. The clock is ticking.
Keep in mind, he's also, I mean, this is finesse central, that part of the map, but looks like he's going to try to play it a ways away, find Seany, can't find the kill, still doesn't know where Afro is, but frankly, making a nice read. Expecting him to be inside the train, but time is certainly ticking off the clock, and I don't know if he's going to be able to get this timing. Seany's coming through, and Seany gets the best timing in the world, and now London should get this round. Afro with the kill, and it comes through. An opportunity for clutch was there. But Neptune can't provide. London playing it a little bit too smartly, and Paul X, frankly, is the hero of this round, right? Finds the first blood, stays alive, and goes and finds a pig later on down the road. So London working on this comeback, but they still got a long way to go.
Yeah, still got a way to go. 3 more rounds for the Ravens. Only 1 for the Mutineers. Back towards A we go. 3-man hit. Trophies in hand. Surely no one gets blown up this time. Oh, hello. Bit of a DV course. Havoc's going to be on the flank already, and this is dangerous. Again, those flash checks, when his teammates don't find anything, he's in and about. He made plenty of noise, though. He dropped off the top of that railing, and now you can see Seany on the hunt for him. But this could be ugly. Seany, he knows something's up. Everyone's feeling each other out, trying to get that opening pick. Afro now comes back for the support. Oh, shots are in from Havoc. Nice nade. Uh-oh. Live, fight, run. 3 HP.
Oh
Houdini!
My God.
Houdini! Still alive!
And he's gone again. I mean, he just had to have slid in their line of sights quite a few times, even with one shot. I don't know how he got away, but now for London, you're still looking for Havoc. You don't know where anywhere else is. You still have to clear out these portions of the map, and you're down to just 35 seconds on the clock. It's a fair bit of time to work with, but even still, Awakening, not a fun player to have to get past. The double slide going to get the job done, and they can get this bomb down.
Havoc could go huge here. There's 1. Second damage dealt. Not able to get the kill, though. Pulled over the coverage at range with a Krieg. Afro straight back onto the point. Nice shots. 3v2. Neptune's still got a bit of work to do. Finds 1. Up over the top. What a slide! What a shot from Neptune. Oh, my word. And now it's all on a Seany. Shots are good. Now it's the 1v1. 10 seconds remaining. Seany's got to find the kill. Got to get on the hunt immediately. Neptune's going to make a run for it. Not able to get the bomb down. He's got to find Neptune. And my God, what a 2-piece out of Neptune to win the round, to win the map. And with that, we are 2-0 up in the series for the Mutineers. And that is the best play for a reason. Sweet Jesus.
I believe he goes by Neptune these days. That's the old nickname for the guy. No, I'm kidding. But still, the two-piece is nice. Again, just the finesse portion of that map. Florida, effectively that game, it seemed like they were doing pretty much whatever they wanted, and including just the play from Havoc, right? Like, he's the one that kills Alex off the bomb, that sets that entire thing in motion. Meanwhile, the first 30 seconds of in-round, he spent one shot, dodging 3 nades, completely in the thick of things. I mean, standing basically in between the entirety of the Royal Ravens squad, but none of them could find the kill on Havoc. He plays his life and, well, strikes for the first blood. Just a constant problem on the map. Not a fun player to have to deal with. And, well, looking at the score, it is just straight across the board. Everyone from Florida having a solid performance for that 6-3 win.
Very, very solid performance across the board. And again, when it comes down to the Ravens, I mean, tough one out of Alex. They're just about shy of 400 damage. Not a great map out of him, but the rest of the squad certainly put on their weight. Not an easy game to play, especially when you have the Mutineers running circles quite literally around the Ravens in a lot of those rounds there. One of our favorite rounds, though, that last one, will be that US Army tactical play. Neptune staying alive when he really needed to. Actually, so did Havoc as well. Unbelievable work. Incredibly difficult to kill the Mutineers players' chance, and this was a fantastic play for our US Army tactical play.
And, well, again, the moments before this, Havoc just spent too long of a time just staying alive in their spawn. And that was a moment where I was thinking Awakening, maybe an overcommitment, just let Havoc die off bomb. But even Neptune was there in the mix and just perfect reads. Paul X was the man that killed Awakening from up top. Neptune knows where to look and just the nice repositioning. And then at this point, the 1v1 doesn't even matter. Too much time has been wasted off the clock. Shout out to Havoc for making that happen earlier on in the round. And Neptune, again, has been around the block at this point in Search and Destroy. Knows he just needs to get out of Dodge and get that dub. 9-5 KD for him. Solid performance on Express.
Great stuff out of the entire team. In some sports, time wasting is as a punishable offense. In this game, it's the name of the game, baby. It's what you want to do. Right, that's that. Map number 2 done and dusted. Mutineers up 2-0. One more map in the series is all they need. It's checkmate on controlled checkmate after this quick break.
Acting that way out of pocket. For the grind, for the hustle, I can't knock it. Do what it take, do what you do, you can try. Yeah. I've been stuck up in the sky. Yeah. Only at the top, I can't lie. Haters watch it, throw the piece, tell them bye, 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 bye. I got things to do, I got bands to get. Competition up in smoke, ooh, cannabis. Ask me why I'm a top 10 candidate. I'm so fly, I'm so clean, ooh, and I'm rich. They can't stop it. They can't stop the kid. They can't stop it. They can't stop the kid. Check the scoreboard, I'm running up stats. Numbers don't lie, that's facts. They can't stop it. They can't stop the kid. They can't stop it. They can't stop the kid. Check the numbers, I'm running it up. I got penny bands, I'm thumbing it. Tell them move. Get up out the way. It's ludicrous, yeah, how much I'm getting paid. 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10K. No mob ties, but a player being made. Now how you spoke to your girl, better check her phone. And do you know what she doing when you not at home? And when she tell you she alone, but she not alone. She got a lot of options, eeny, miny, mo. She gon' do what she want, ain't no stopping it all. Pour the liquor in the cup, yeah, I'm topping it off. I might take your girl, take a trip to the mall. Put the shelf in the bag, yeah, cause I'm copping it all. I'm saying, they can't stop it. They can't stop the kids. They can't stop it. They can't stop the kids.
Call of Duty League is presented by T-Mobile, now America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G. Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. Seany, the official eyewear for the CDL. Armour your eyes with Seany Blocks blue light protection glasses by visiting seany.com/gaming.
Welcome back, Call of Duty fans. We've got ourselves a fantastic match ahead of us, but if you think you know what's going to happen in this match, I hope you got your pick'ems in. If not, prove it that this year, play them CDL pick'ems by making your match predictions each day by 12 PM Pacific. And if you're right, collect points and get a tippity top that leaderboard. All sorts of fantastic prizes to be won all season long for those biggest winners. Head over to pick'em.callofdutyleague.com. pickem.com, pickem.callofdutyleague.com, and find out how you can get involved. My pickem's going pretty well this week, can't lie, mate. I don't know about you, Chance, but I'm doing okay. Okay.
I'm doing reasonably well.
Yeah.
I think I'm starting to make like gains on like the global leaderboard. I think I'm in like the 300s. I used to be in like the 900s. I might have to like really grind them out and like sit down for every series and plan out like what maps are gonna be played and this and that. But either way, as good as the picks and the pick'ems have been, Florida this series have been doing even better.
They have been doing even better. I mean, we're looking at stage 1 through 3 on that left column, and this is what they look like winning against Toronto the other day. The upset of the stage so far, and it's so early into it. We love to see it, but look at them KDs, mate. Big wake, though, not having to put in as much work, I suppose, because the rest of the squad is doing so much in those games. Having Neptune Skies all going massive there, and Big Wake for the first time in what feels like a long time, and put his feet up there in the KD department. Quick scope brought to you by Scump shows us overall what is going on here. And again, that's that search and destroy for the Ravens. 7-22 overall. Not ideal, but commiserations there can be said. But the control game looking a lot better chance. They're going to need it going into checkmate right now.
They absolutely will. I would say the safety net for Florida, you know, even the situation against Toronto, they went up 2-0, nearly got reverse swept, clutched up in the game number 5. Even if that sort of a similar situation happens and they end up in a game number 5 and lose the next 2 maps, well, we go to a Moscow search and destroy where London is 0-6 on it. I think the only team in the game that hasn't found a win on Moscow search and destroy throughout the year. So I think Florida, they have done the hard work and put themselves in a very strong spot. And just to backtrack for a brief moment, looking at the stats, right? The Havoc and Neptune, your SMGs just having phenomenal performances against Toronto. I really do think that like Havoc had some very early struggles, like the first few matches that he played. Since then, I think he's been great, and I think Neptune started off strong, and he has been getting better and better. Not just the plays we saw from him in the Search and Destroy, but even the openings on the Moscow hardpoint. Like you get the new guy on the squad coming from a different game, and he's the one making the big brain plays and the hardpoints on rotations. That is just a wonderful sign, I would say, for the Florida camp.
He touched upon it well in the pregame, the HQ, brought to you by USAE. He said, you know, you want to see them submachine guns go big, but that's a scary moment now because, again, for the Ravens, checkmate be in their playground. And it's this man on your screen, it's Big Paul, looking to find the damage. There are 3 members of the Mutineers in the plane. Paul's going to try to take care of all 3. If there's one, oh, come on, mate, set me up for the mega play there. All right, either way, the trades go through. I'm going to see that control tick fast. The shots that are having good damage dealt. Did I say hard point? Am I faded? I can't remember. Good start though. Either way, that first segment of B closing on the second as well. Oh, big win from Neptune finally stops it.
I would say, though, maybe not the worst play, right? You go for B off the rip. Obviously, it's incredibly difficult to capture, right? There's 7 angles you have to worry about. And, well, Havoc and Neptune found a couple, but they did get a tick of progression over on B early on. And now you're going back to the easier point to capture. 2 ticks have come through. They are looking poised up, ready to go, almost certainly going to secure this as well. And Florida sort of letting it happen. So now you've got a situation, you've got 2 buddies on B, already a tick of progression, you're getting some kills your way. London, they are pouring the pressure on.
Yeah, pressure on. Oh, crossfire though, fantastic from the Mutineers. Now the pressure from the Mutineers, shoes on the other foot as they start kicking their way forward. Shawnee though, in guards up, staying alive for now. Then control will fall for a brief moment. Oh, there it is, awakening, nice angle, nice timing. Map control going the way of Florida. Look at that mini-map, low left-hand side. Starting to close in on London there, eliminating their avenues of attack. But that's a nice kill out of Paul to push his way forward. Alex as well, so space to breathe, space to make their way forward, and they'll do just that. Got to watch out for those 2 remaining members of the Mutineers on spawn, but hey, this could be interesting now for the Ravens. Can they get forward?
I think they absolutely can. I think they've been playing this like a fiddle, and well, they get picked apart along the way, and you go back to square one, but they have a minute and a half, that as many lives that they're going to need at their disposal to make this happen. They are looking for 1, 3 down. If you get a clean 4, even better. And they just have so much progression already over towards B. I would say Florida, they're in a tough spot, but they're finding all the kills. Double kill for each of the SMGs. And London, again, they still have a lot of time to work with, but get a kill, man. Damn.
It's so hard. There's patience from Neptune that got it done. I mean, this is the most perfect looking setup. You've got your ARs on the plane wings, you've got your submachine guns in the far forward positions, and it is just kill after kill after kill. 14-8 in the live count. Havoc's on the flank. Now he's truly in his comfortable spot. Alex will stop the bleeding for a time now. You have to get over towards B. 1 segment left, though, for the Ravens, and 7 lives to do it. And they get it done. Here we go.
Well, there's the big two. They're not going to come through, and Alex is just going to fall. And you've at least bought yourself a little bit of map pressure, but when you find a kill, the response is already there. Mentioned earlier, you had a lot of lives to play with. That's when they had the 14, but now just down to 4. Every death matters, and frankly, that one might be the dagger. Unless you do something perfect in these final seconds, London just pushed too far back, and with shots like that, you can understand why. The opening break was clean, but since then, the switch has been flipped. Florida dominating in that round, despite the objective seemingly evaporating before their eyes. That was 2 minutes and 10 seconds of just unadulterated bliss of a kill feed for the Florida fans.
And this play just keeps on going, man. I mean, it did not end there. I can tell you that, friends. It did not end there for Havoc. A wonderful bit of defensive work there from the Mutineers in their opening round. Now towards the Ravens for an opportunity to slow things down a wee bit. But chance, it was brutal. Best way to put it.
Because, I mean, again, I really do think they put themselves in a great spot, but they just, you know, you get stuck in the spawn trap. And, well, that's why we talk about the blender this year, I suppose. Opening kills mean a ton in control.
Oh my God.
Florida, is you surprised? Are any of us shocked at this point? They
Oh my
find
God.
Paul X going to fall as well. The perfect opening break. You get Havoc now with the Crimsix in hand, just in this back corner of the map. And frankly, by the time that you can even try to hunt this man down, which they cannot already, you just got Florida just playing for kills. It's Skies just by himself on point. Everyone else just pushed up for this map control.
And Havoc is in Red Tower. He's in the highest point of the map now for the Ravens. He's got an eye on the back of them. They're going to be running around down low trying to find him, and there he is. And tippity top his perch. He's pecking away at the lives now, and the life count is starting to dwindle. 27 to 21. A-zone's almost complete. The final segment now. We're looking at 2 minutes and 10 on the clock if they can get the capture here. This is unbelievable. What a stunning opening from the Florida Mutineers. Now we can see a final sign of life there from the Ravens. Get them out spawn, get them forward though. Afro's trying to get their submachine gun, put it to work, and here we go. Guys, he drops first. Afro's still chilling here, nice nade. There could be any more to be had there, but there's not a whole lot of help though. The rest of the Ravens slowly but surely pushing their way forward. 50 seconds left on the clock, chance, and just like that, 19-19 in the life count.
And frankly, I mean, Florida deserves to lose this round, right? You have the perfect opening break, get the 4 down, get Havoc behind enemy lines, and they just left Skies on the point by himself. Takes 45 seconds to capture it for one man, and they weren't able to convert it. So they were trying to go for the league play special. Just play for kills the entire time, and, well, it shouldn't work in league play. I hate when it does. But now it looks like they're getting punished for it, right? And now you're in the point where you're starting to get spawn trapped, and, well, time is ticking. Just 20 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, the Ravens managed to get another segment, so again, in that mission towards whoever gets the offensive round in the final one, it's looking to be them so far. Udo streaks, though, for Neptune at this point in time. Very handy when attacking that B zone, or even trying to defend it. And, oh, hello, a little bit of friendly fire, 10 seconds on the clock, and that is about to become 1 minute and 10 seconds. There it goes. A zone secured with a brief few moments to spare, and straight over to B, and you guess what, chance they're not going to fall prey to the same thing, chasing kills. Oh, Neptune gets 2. Now all you're going to do is stack that son of a gun, and it's yours. The round well and truly could be over. More bodies for the Mutineers. Get them on point. Oh, God, Neptune. Unbelievable work out of him. 13 and 8 for Havoc. Second bit of progress at B gone. Ravens not able to get back into this one. Paul goes big. 1, 2, but no, he just about gets it. Actually, was a team kill. There you go. 1 minute on the clock, chance. And my God, Mutineers are running checkmate.
They are indeed. That is now 4. Make it 3 lives remaining. Shout out to Neptune's trophy, even putting in work in this round. And they went for the league play special. They want the kills more than they want the objective. And frankly, for Florida, they got it. They have outclassed London through and through so far in this series. And, well, at least for this round, that remains true. Florida just sheer and utter dominance. They get away with their trolling shenanigans at the start of the round and keep the record, all of 2 rounds that we've had, but perfect so far. Florida look like they're having fun, Miles, I gotta say.
They do look like they're having fun. The last time I saw a team have this much fun on checkmate, I think it was FaZe versus LA Thieves. And we even saw the assassination in the final moments. Like, that was a different beast. Ravens, they have these sort of nice coordinated efforts to break out of the spawn traps and, you know, and even start to push in towards their own. But this is tough, man. I mean, Neptune is going ham with a capital H. 21 and 14 for him. Really putting the Ravens through, through their paces, man. It's tough. But here we go. Another attacking round for the Ravens.
Good luck, have fun. They wanted to play in control, and they absolutely get it. Well, you run through, Neptune makes the reads, trades come back and forth, and no surprise, it's Florida with the small advantage. You already got Havoc behind enemy lines. He's pushed his way through P2. He's looking for the spawn kills that he's going to be able to convert. You got Skies just dancing in front of the opponents where he cannot be killed. Florida, they have found some sort of black magic within this game, and Havoc just being annoyed, just wasting time. You had 3 players to go and hunt him down, and now just 45 seconds on the clock within this round. I almost feel bad.
It could be it. This could be the final round in the series. Ravens have got to go special. Awakening get a lot of information there. Afro trying to make his way forward as well, and this is good. Ravens now managed to get themselves on in the A zone. Also trying to cover this one. Here comes the pinch, though. No need. Havoc wins a big 1v1. Paul, last player left for the Ravens now on the point. And that will be that as Skies cuts him down as well. Quite a bit of disconnect here. The Ravens unable to really get anything going together, Chance. They're just so cut apart. Individual plays. Streaks now for Neptune just to slow that side of the map. 20 seconds remaining. This could be it.
I'm there just frankly bullies to this point. +8 for Skies, +8 for Havoc, positive whatever the hell for Neptune. And well, Awakening struggling in this game greatly. Just kidding. Fried that man, and well, all the kills going the way. Florida doing a little dance, capping off this series win in a dominant fashion. We were concerned about potential inconsistencies from the Florida Mutineers, but I gotta say, I mean, their past couple losses they've had throughout Stage 3, it was just in the major. Chicago and Atlanta took them down. Florida the other day comes out, beats Toronto. What a fantastic win. Their matchup, well, if you can beat Toronto, you'd expect them to be able to take down London. They provide in a 3-0 fashion. And I tell you, maybe the Moscow was a little bit spicy, but after that, they just made it look easy.
It was not close in the search. Well, it came together at times, but that 3-0 in control, that was the death knell on the map that we all predicted London to really be that bit stronger on. Florida making a true case as they charged their way up the boards, their 5th sweep of the season, and a dominant display against the Ravens. That is certainly one that will sting, I think, for the Ravens, as close as the matches have been against tougher opponents. That loss is one that really sets you back in the mental game. Right? They have the resolve to bounce back and find that form once again. But that's a stinger for the Ravens, it has to be said. Either way, though, Florida, massive props to them, looking stronger every single series. Take the upset chance, and now you beat a team that, you know, at the bottom of the table you would expect to beat. Boy, oh boy, did they get it done. Look at the stats there, and whew, Awakening Havoc, Neptune, big damage across the board. Sky is not too shabby himself, but not a whole lot the Ravens could really do there on checkmate. A 3-0 to see the series come to a close.
I'm inclined to believe that we're going to be saying this potentially more and more as the year goes on, but Neptune, just a clinical series, one of the best he has potentially had within Call of Duty. I have said that exact same thing. I think maybe the last time we casted Florida, or like 2 casts ago, but Neptune seemingly has been balling out, had a fantastic series. If he needs to slay, he can do that. If he needs to clutch and search and destroy, he can do that. If he's got to secure the rotations for his team, he's got that as well. We have watched this man grow since day 1 of the CDL list from this season, and he has been a treat to watch.
I've been a Neptune stan since day 1, it has to be said. Our scuff play of the game will be the opening from round 2. We saw some amazing stuff out of the Mutineers. Crisp, clean, very succinct gameplay chance. It was pretty much perfect across the board.
I mean, just genuinely, that is the correct word. You get all 4 down, you go hunting for the last man, and then they completely trolled after this, right? Instead of just stacking the 8 point, letting Havoc go and run and get the kills, I mean, they just abandoned all hope of everything. Got Awakening swinging out to the top wing. The next 4 seconds of Skies' life, he just spent hanging out on the point with nothing to do. And Florida just did not care about capping it at all, but obviously did not make a difference. Potentially at this point, one of the most interesting teams to watch, by the way, Florida Mutineers. There's their schedule, the road to the major. I mean, now at this point, if you're taking out Florida getting 3-0s like that, I can't wait to watch them play against the Subliners. That might be an incredibly spicy series.
Yeah, this is a very serious one for New York as well. They don't want to let this one slip. LAG coming up after that, and the big final boss they've got is Dallas Empire, the long end of the winding road to the major they will go. When it gets to the end there, it'll be like, what? You have reached your destination, but for London, they've taken a couple of left turns, a couple of L's, as you can see, against the Empire and the Mutineers. Up next, Toronto Ultra. And if that series was anything to go by, Ravens have got to do something special. It's time to clutch up. Pull your socks up, boys. It's going to be a long and difficult run, though, towards that Stage 4 Major. Again, Subliners after that, Guerrillas to close it out. Hopefully they can find themselves a win before they get to the end there. Otherwise, it'll be a lower bracket start on that LAN Major. But here we go. Look at the Chicago home series schedule for the rest of the day here, brought to you by the US Army. It's Toronto Ultra going up against Dallas Empire next. Same groups going at it. And of course, that Game Fuel marquee match, OpTic versus FaZe. Cannot wait to get that one underway a little bit later on today. Friends, there it is. That first match of the day completed. 3-0 for the Florida Mutineers. Congratulations to them. That was a bit of a smacking. Very surprised, if I'm honest. My pick'ems have already been, let's say, tainted for today's games, and we'll see how it goes. But Chance, we do have our Game Fuel. Oh, actually, we have another tweet. We thought.
Hit me with it.
So we have an update on the tweet from. We have the update from the tweet from Social Soundboard. Sorry, pal. Awakening says that you think I'm quiet, but really I'm observing. We have a rebuttal now from our observers. There's been a reply, Chance, and I'm just getting this all fed to us right now. What did they say? They said, well, the cat's out of the bag now. Welcome to the team. That's right, Big Wake. He's observing now, baby, alongside the Hot Hands Lounge, the best in the business. Well, the good news is we're going to get a very, very quick word with Big Wake. He's going to be joining me for the Game Fuel Victory Spotlight. We're going to find out all about his new career as an observer here in the Call of Duty League, coming up right after this break.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Game Fuel. Unlock a CDL team pack with any purchase on gamefuel.com/CDL while supplies last. Offer ends on August 31st. Tournament audio and team listen-ins are powered by Astro Gaming, the official headset and mix amp of the Call of Duty League.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to the Call of Duty League. It is now time for our Game Fuel Victory Spotlight, but I'm going to be talking to Big Wake and talk to Awakening, who's now the newest member of the Observer team. Has put that tweet out about truly observing, and man, well done. We saw a lot of good stuff from you in that series. Congratulations on the 3-0, mate. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I think the team's looking really good and we're hitting form, and I'm just super confident moving forward.
All right, man. The team has gone from strength to strength. You've had some ups and downs, obviously. But, I mean, what is it right now about the squad? Like, what do you personally do to get yourself cool and calm before games? What do you like to do after games as well to, like, unwind? Give us a bit of insight into the life of Awakening.
Before games, I usually just chill with my team and listen to music and just shoot bots or like play them in free for alls or hard points. And then after games, I just usually just chill, watch movies or watch streams or watch the rest of the matches and watch VODs. Just honestly, just all around like watching streams and pretty much all Call of Duty, pretty much.
I love that, man. You're really committed to improving the craft and learning everything you can about it. But as I say, like, you know, Awakening, you let your gameplay do the talking most of the time. You're not super outspoken on social media or in interviews. What do you like to do apart from play COD right now? What's one of those things that, you know, we've heard that you're committed to the craft, but is there anything else you like to do outside of the game?
Not really. Like I said, I just watch movies, chill with my girl, and just watch movies and stuff.
Dude, right on. I love that. I'm also a massive fan of the movies. I can't wait to get back to the cinemas. I've missed the feeling of the chair, the popcorn, the big screen. I love it. Well, dude, Awakening, before we go, we're talking about movies. I'm going to put you on the spot here, man. What is your favorite movie?
Oh, man. Probably like one of the Star Wars movies. I don't really know. I don't really like have a favorite movie, but probably one of the Star Wars movies.
I love that, man. I love that. Well, the Force is clearly very, very strong with you, my friend. Congratulations on today's games as well. And good luck in the rest of the stage. You got Subliners up next. It's going to be an absolute bout.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Awakening, Demon Joe there, ladies and gentlemen. A man of few words, but we know a little bit more about him now. I'm a big fan of Awakening, and I'm sure you are as well. Florida Mutineers get the job done 3-0, and that is that for the series. We come back after this very quick commercial break. We've got ourselves Toronto Ultra going up against the Dallas Empire, ladies and gentlemen. It's sure to be a bloodbath. We'll see you after the break.
Hello and welcome back. We've got a couple of bangers to close out the first week of Stage 4, and Maven here, joined by the beautiful, incredibly talented Joe Mercaluca. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. You know, it's been a great weekend, a great week of COD so far, and we have a couple of, as you said, bangers to close out this Sunday. Toronto Ultra, maybe one of their first missteps since, they won Stage 2, losing their first match to Florida, and then on the other side for Dallas Empire, they went into Game 5. It wasn't the cleanest match with Vivid, but I'm hoping to see some improvements today.
Absolutely. Yeah, Toronto are looking to bounce back. They looked a little vulnerable in their last series, but no reason to panic. Let's see if the guys can come in and fry today. Let's take a look at the squad here for Toronto Ultra.
Yeah. I'ma get right in my bag. Why you gonna try to get mad? Everybody wanna keep up. Don't you know I move too fast? I'ma zip right past. Drip all on my swag. Why you trying to size me up? You don't wanna try your luck. Hot as a stove, what did you know? Burn like coal, yeah, you know I go. Way too hot, yeah, really too cold. I'ma keep going till I hit my goals. Better get back when I'm in my zone. Do it for the ones that I know back home. Did it myself, they ain't put me on. But you call back if you hear that tone. Love the level.
A consistent force throughout all of Stage 2 and 3, looking to keep that momentum going. They kicked things off with a loss and now looking to come in and dominate. Joe, look, who are you looking at to really rebound today?
Well, Cammy and Clayster are probably the two that stand out the most to me. If you look at their first series, they really struggled. But honestly, they got away from their formula. They lost 2 search and destroys to the Florida Mutineers. So just looking at them to bounce back on that for sure.
Yeah, and one of them I think was standoff, so obviously it's just tossed in. Maybe not as many reps, so you can maybe chalk that up. But the fact they lost both, yeah, that just hasn't really been a thing for this team. They've been so solid in 2, 3, 5, and we'll see if they can get back to greatness and form here, and I think most of us expect them to do so. They've been an incredibly fun team to watch.
No, they really have. Again, I think they lost, 3 maps, obviously, and I think all of Stage 2 in group play, they only lost 2. So this is really, since they won Stage 2, the first, I don't know, sort of setback that we've seen from them. I'm just excited to see the way that they bounce back.
100%. A lot of us are waiting to see how that's going to go out. And on the other side of it, it will be Dallas Empire. The new look squad, they get a Game 5 win, looking to keep that momentum rolling in Stage 4. Let's check out Dallas Empire.
Dallas Empire have smashed the gates open.
Fella with the round 1 ace.
Oh, it's a shot punch. Oh no! Once again, they saved the day.
Well, we've seen several rosters from this Empire team since the removal of Hook from the main roster. Fellow first in. Now it is Vivid's turn. And in his first series, wasn't really all that impressive, but they get the W. Maybe it's going to take a little bit of a transition period to work him into the mix of things.
No, 100%. Obviously, he didn't play a stage. He's got to get back into rhythm. He's still putting in that work and I think I saw him in 8th almost every single night, just trying to find that play time. But back into a brand new system for him. And obviously, he's got a lot of veterans, championships around him. He's just got to learn from this Dallas Empire team.
They're trying to find that mix that's going to give them a chance at going back to back and taking another world championship if they can do it. But let's check out our game fuel keys to victory now. Joe, what were you thinking?
Oh, well, like you said, not the debut we're looking for if you were, a Dallas Empire fan, but you get the win, right? He's minus 30 in the series, 0.67 overall. It wasn't good, to be honest. It was pretty bad. But can he bounce back from that? And the fact that they won this series tells me he's at least doing the right things. Continue to prove in Search and Destroy. They won both of them. They were 3-5 in Stage 3, so the fact that they win both of those is already a much better start than what we saw. And Crim was huge in that. He went 20-11 across those 2 maps. It would be huge if they could steal this control in the series. They were 1-7 in Stage 3. We know how good Toronto Ultra can be.
Yeah, their control game, even though they had that shaky series to start things off, they still won the raid control 3-0. So it seems that's still working out well. And speaking of Toronto, let's look at their game fuel keys to victory, Joe.
Well, we kind of talked about it. I get back to their winning formula, 2-3-5. They lost both Search and Destroys to Florida. They only won 5 rounds between the 2 of them. Cammy and Clayster didn't come out of the gates hot, minus 24 across the series. And I think Cammy, really struggled on that raid. Hardpoint, that's our map 1 here today. They continue to dominate that game 3. I guess if there's a bright spot, they 3-0 Florida on raid. It has been their home. They were 8-1 on control throughout Stage 3. Keep that momentum going in that game mode.
Yeah, no, 100%, because I think the reason that this team, I really started to believe in them is because, they were playing the right way, but I really thought Cammy and Clayster were kind of developing as superstars. Those guys that are going to go out and drop numbers just about every game. You need someone that's going to be a beast on the map. And Clayster, Cammy, when we were watching, it was so impressive. But yeah, that raid, map 1, I think it was minus 15 for Cammy, minus 9 for Clayster. I don't know that this team can win hard points if those 2 are going to have those types of stats.
No, I mean, they're just not. It's one of those things where it has been a little off for them. But just taking a look at these maps, Express Search and Destroy, a very good map. If you go to the Moscow, they're 5-5 on that one, where Dallas Empire are 1-4. The key thing for me throughout this, though, is that control garrison, because obviously teams, you can see it, they don't want to play them on raid control, but they've been able to win this garrison control ever since winning that Stage 2 major. Dallas Empire, can they find a win there? That's kind of what I'm looking at.
Well, that's why Ultra's so dangerous, right? You don't want to play him on raid. Then, a lot of teams don't have that second really good map. They're 6-2 on Garrison. So, control has been a hot spot for them for sure. And I think that's why it's so key. Like you said, can Empire somehow pull that out? But we'll kick things off on raid hardpoint, 7-7 for Ultra, 3-2 for Empire. And yeah, I mean, some of the hardpoint stats look pretty good for Empire because they started the year so strong in it. They were dominant, but since then haven't exactly found that form, but we'll see if they can get back to it.
Yeah, even last stage, that was like their one bright spot with Fellow. They were still pretty solid and competitive in hardpoint. The key for me here is, you know, again, you're bringing in Vivid, but iLLeY is going back to that flex. And even when iLLeY was at that flex role in stage 1 and stage 2, it just felt like he can never, I don't know, really get comfortable. You know, him and Crim were playing a little bit fast. I want to see is one of those guys going to slow down, kind of play that more of that insight role. But Raid Hardpoint, as you said, it's one Toronto lost a couple of days ago. Can Dallas Empire strike first?
Well, it's 3 quick kills through for Ultra, and Kleenex already into the point, but Crim just hitting it. A nice 3-0 start for Benjamin Bance, and he's got the read and pick up on the driveway push. Fantastic start. I mean, you get in the point, you get the flip, you get the kills, everything you want if you're Ultra.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, they flip the spawns right away. Dallas Empire, they are stuck. That's 4 dead again. And now you're put in this position. Do we have to go water side? And I think that's going to be the call. But you can kind of rotate for this, almost like they're playing, controller, search and destroy. You put a player money window. You have mid-courtyard. I thought that insight was going to rotate on over. He does find one. Kleenex and Cammy, though, are there. And as you said, about as good as a start as you could get. Kitchen about to pop up, and Bance still alive, now on a 5-3, trying to find those streaks.
He's still battling, 1 away now, 6-0 start for Bance. And even though a lot of these fights are going to go on, we have to hop to Kitchen to see the battle, but I do want to see if he can get the streaks. It's just everything else is going to be going down Kitchen side. It might be a one-on-one with Crim that'll decide it. It looks like he's going to wrap to the back. His teammates have still held on, but it's a pinch through the back for iLLeY. That gets the opening. Bance will get his first streak, though, as he finally gets in on the action. And if you're Empire, you're finally starting to enjoy some time due to the flood from the front.
Yeah, at least you have some map control, right? You're contesting some of this time. But the key thing here is, can they rotate? And you see those spawns. Inside and Kleenex actually spawn driveway. So Toronto Ultra with 25 seconds left are gifted the rotation over to Garage. Empire are going to get the scrap time. But surprise, Toronto Ultra is here already. Crim, though, he's had a couple of multi-kills already. There's another one. At least get them inside of Garage as it's about to pop.
And I feel like here you have to have an incredible hardpoint for your Empire, because once we head to court, now with those streaks on Bance, if they get the time in Garage, they might be able to link those two together. So you need to get a stronghold here. An Empire, lock it down. iLLeY doing his best from Art as he's now on 3 in a row. And so far, so good for the Empire squad. Some much needed time. And it looked ugly about 20 seconds ago.
Well, and as you said, I mean, I don't even know if, you know, you can use them at court if you want to, but I feel like teams have gotten really good just playing their life inside of Tiki, inside of Kitchen.
That's true.
Even inside of that corner, inside the hill, right? And kind of avoiding those streaks. I think they're much more effective on that P5 if you go back to ring. So Toronto Ultra, if they can save the streaks after this, so you're going to see the lead change come in. A very good job by Dallas Empire, but now we get to this money hill at Courtyard. Toronto Ultra can get this 50 to 60, then use both of those streaks to combine the next 2 hills. That's when this game can open up wide open for them.
Well, it was a beautiful start for Ultra. Empire bounced back. They've got the lead now. They've taken control. They're trying to get the breakthrough. Court trying to get the streaks onto iLLeY. I want to see how they try to set this up. Let's go to an Astro listen in now with Dallas Empire.
In the back. He's in the back on me, dead. Good shit. Yo, let's hit the shit. He's outside pillar weak, outside weak. Bad shot, they might streak.
Go, hold.
Kitchen. Could be all.
Yo, in Tiki half. There's one in pool.
Guys. Yeah, I'm trying to get one shot, bro.
Yeah, fly T.
Push out. You went front. Yo, left side. T-field. That one. Good shot, guys.
Front.
Let's get ring. Me and you what's our supporter thing? You guys hold that? Yeah, hold ring.
Don't line up. Yeah, don't line up. You say no.
You guys have ring. Yo, first pillar dead.
Nice. Yo, one's water steps.
Let's do that. Let's go. We can go.
Yo, bring 2 water steps.
Top bar, Cammy. I knew it's like weak.
Do you have tricks in there?
No. One's holding water stairs, one's on their side of hill. Yeah, let's go get ring. Yo, take your time. Yo, reset your time. He's gonna push out. He's gonna push our ring somewhere.
Yeah, I'm going on her. He's laying on her.
I got one water step.
I bought a Reese. Yeah, he's top ring.
Top ring, nice.
Let's do this.
Watch up hill.
Inside that hill. Square. He's front kitchen.
Front kitchen, Kleenex, item price. He's down the one. Green course.
Sure, yeah, I'm one time. Go behind the pillar. First pillar, guys.
I'm helping the old ring.
I'm about to go water stairs.
Yeah, I'm gonna go kitchen. You guys double work that.
Yeah.
Water stairs. Can we water stairs?
Pitches in.
Stay water stairs. You stay water stairs.
I don't see anyone. Water steps. Water steps.
Time and.
One
shot goes right time. Did you get that crack? Yeah, behind you, kitchen. Make sure you hold the spawns. Hold these spawns. Where do you go?
Yo, Cammy's going laundry. Cammy is going laundry.
Cammy dead.
Pushing me, please.
I'm going water stairs.
You take your time. Make the money.
Yeah. One's gonna be art. One's gonna be art.
Hey, I'm blue van.
Over top right.
He's right on the inside. Watch out.
Dead.
Well, Joe, I know it was a little bit ago, but basically exactly what you said about streaks at court happened.
Yeah, I mean, they had to call one in, so they still have the artillery, and it was a bit of a waste. It doesn't turn at any time. Dallas, they get that break. They avoid the streak. But Toronto Ultra, in such a beautiful response there at P5, that was a 50 to 60 seconds. They now have the rotation. They still have the artillery on Vance as well. It was only a ping used by him. And maybe not the way I thought they were going to open up the game, but they're doing it without those streaks.
Well, Cleanix almost got all 4 from like the mid-rock. I think he got 3 and weakened the 4th one. You heard like every player from Empire calling out they put a bullet in him as he's just tearing everybody apart. A nice individual moment. It's led to a ton of time for Ultra as they've really begun to pull away. Now up 60. As we'll get back over to kitchen. An opener from Cleanix. The man is on a mission. At 14 and 10, and we were looking for him and Cammy to rebound from their poor result on this map and mode in their last series. Well, they're doing it.
Yeah, great game from them, and I think it's really the ARs of Dallas that are keeping them in this game. Vivid and Shotzzy struggling as they are down 60 points. Banty is going to call this artillery in. And he kills his teammate. Okay. Questionable call there. Everyone from Dallas is still alive.
He's going to get another one. He's on 6 in a row. He's going to get another one. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, if it was a miscommunication, but yeah, the only person dropping is his teammate, but Vance is 15 and 7. About to earn another set of streaks if he can just finish something here. And they're looking to get over the 200-point mark. There we go. Artillery. Vance on a run.
I don't know if he ended up picking that up. Maybe one of those.
Wait.
I don't think he did, but yeah, maybe because he had a team kill or something. I don't exactly know, but
no, because it showed the progress it showed the progress towards the missile. He was just away from him. I'm trying to think if the one he called in, he had just earned from that streak. I was thinking it was the first one. Yeah. Looking to put it away now in garage. They've got this setup, funneling him through water side. Cammy and inside just have it lined up with the Krigs. And you love when the fights are going down to mid-map. Nowhere near the hard point. They just have this locked down. Empire cannot find any opening. Now trying to take it all through Zig. iLLeY will be able to get in behind. That'll be 3 down. Where's the spawn come in? 1 spawn's close. 2 will spawn out ringside, but just 10 more points needed. They have dominated late in this game, and despite having the numbers, Empire cannot get through. Ultra will hold on an insight, a little snap. And there's the closeout. Ultra take map 1, and yeah, a heck of a lot cleaner than the last time we saw him just a couple days ago.
I mean, I don't know where Dallas was after basketball court, but it was right around 110, 120 points. I think they only got 20 or 30 more after that. It was
100%.
Almost perfect
100%.
hard point from Toronto Ultra from that point forward. And really what it's P1 and P2. Similar to what they did on the first rotation, they do it on the second rotation. Vance gets those streaks again. And you saw the scoreboard really struggling on the Dallas Empire side is those submachine guns. They could not get rolling. You have to give props to the map control that Toronto Ultra. They're just able to put on the map, right? Just right from the get-go, put them into a bit of a trap.
Yeah, I mean, really, I guess the moment that sticks out is during the listen in when they were trying to kill Cleanix in courtyard. Like after he got the 3.5, if you count the damage into the player pillars, they just didn't look back. It couldn't have been more than 20 or 30 points, but Vance only died 8 times over the course of the entire game. That's pretty impressive in and of itself.
Yeah, you wanted to see a bounce back game if you were an Ultra fan, and you got it right there. Just convincing win on raid hardpoint. It's been pretty 50 for them, you know, as a squad, but with inside it's been much better. And I feel like when they are at their most dangerous, it is when they're winning these raid hardpoints, because it's one of their go-tos, and able to bounce back here, looking much better today.
Well, I would be willing to bet that 4 of the 7 losses came back with the old roster. Honestly, we've been all those close losses. They've been so much better, but it's a happy Ultra after map 1, dominant in the second half of the game. We'll get up to the search and destroy after this quick break.
The Call of Duty League is presented by T-Mobile, now America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G.
Empire can't get it going in the second half of that map 1. Now they'll look to get it going in the search, where they were able to win both in their last series. They win it in Game 5 fashion over Ravens. But I want to talk a little bit about Vivid and coming into the squad. We mentioned he had the rough first series, starts a little rough there in the map 1, and I think Empire learning that even if, let's say, Hook wasn't the right mindset, wasn't playing well, whatever it was, it's still very, very hard shoes to fill. To find someone to come in and fill a gap like that when you have a talent of that proportion.
Oh, no, 100%. But I just think for Vivid, I mean, obviously it's still very early. But don't forget the fact that, like, he's never been a part of a team besides the Guerrillas, right? Like, this is his second pro team, and it's also a Dallas Empire team that has had some success. Maybe there's some pressure, or he's feeling that pressure right now. The fact is he has to get comfortable, right? You have to be the guy that they brought you on to be. And that was kind of around that 0.9, 0.95 that he was on the Guerrillas, putting pressure on the map. And you saw those stats. I mean, they're horrible. They're not good.
Yeah.
So he's got to bounce back.
Yeah. It's a small body of work, but you got to pick it up. Because I think for him and what went down with the Guerrillas, I think we all kind of think, he was playing pretty well on that team. They weren't winning. He probably thought that it needed to improve or he needed to make a change. They let him go. He's now, I think we would all agree, he has a team now that is capable of winning. So if you got what you wanted, yeah, you need to come in and perform. And I don't know how much time you give it, but he's only played a series. But the sooner you can turn it around, the better. But maybe it is a little bit pressure, like you said.
Yeah, just him getting comfortable, right, in a different position, right, playing with these guys, people that he's never played with before. But we're going to have our eyes on him because he's playing with our World Championship team for last year. They're trying to go back-to-back. They're trying to figure things out. Well, some time to work with.
I think we all view this as his shot, right? He got a team that can be a contender, 100%. So now come in and perform. We'll look to keep an eye on those improvements as we go on. But now to the Express. When you talk of these two teams, it's 4-1 for Ultra, 5-4 for Empire. So Ultra obviously the better win percentage, but Empire this is the 10th time they have played it. They've got a lot of reps.
Yeah, a lot of reps, though, means lots of VOD. So, Toronto, they 3-stack off A right away. Vivid's not going to see anything at this B bomb. He's going to get the bomb planted. Maybe not the position we always see it planted for. He's a little bit safe with Shotzzy. He's been lurking here the entire time, and he's going to find one. A nice trade by Bance, but Crim watching over his teammates. He knows there's another player there. Now it's just about wasting that clock. Insight on the opposite side of the map, trying to wait for Bance to make the move.
Oh, he was trying to be sneaky. He gets spotted. Crim just staying alive. And just wasting time. Then the finesse to close it out. Nice round from Empire.
Yeah, nicely done by Shotzzy. Just to, to be patient. At least he found one, and then Crim looking over him. Able to get this first kill, but then his ability to stay alive here. And even if he dies there, he wasted, what, 5-10 seconds for Bance and for his teammates to find insight on the opposite side of the map. Even if Bance wins that, he would have been left all alone in a 1v2. But a nice slow round offensively from Dallas Empire. They see the free plant, they go for it.
And it looks like they're expecting some aggression, maybe out of Shotzzy. I mean, that's what they're playing for. And the patience is paying off on the other side. Holding catwalk will be in sight. They expected somebody to fly, and fly they did. First blood to Ultra. Now Shotzzy in the lurk role. Last time was able to make some noise and get the first blood. Will it pay off this time? Yes, Shotzzy has got to be annoying the hell out of Ultra right now.
And then iLLeY with another one. They play really slow. Think the B site's open. It is. They're able to get the bomb down, but the players on the opposite side of the map do get taken down. Grim, again, patient on his catwalk. Bance gets taken down. Kleenex able to find a one-on-one. They got two members that they take down. Can he get some timings on his side? They're not on the defuse quite yet.
There's
that timing.
Oh my god, that timing. Oh my god, can he get on it? Can he get there? Can he get there?
He got it.
He got it. I was going to say it had to be so close right before the kill comes in. The defuse is through. And poor Shotzzy, my God, did he get horrific timing. But Kleenex nearly the hero in the 1v3. But Crim stuck it just in time. I was literally just waiting for it to pop up with who won because I had no idea. It was so close.
Yeah, I was waiting for the game to tell me.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like it was milliseconds away.
Unbelievable finish to that round. Will take us to 2-0 for Empire. And they finally get Shotzzy off the map early. Able to get away with just 20 HP. Nice pick from Insight and a much needed first blood for Ultra in a hole.
Again, it's just 3-stack at A from Toronto Ultra. They're going to kind of fly as a unit, maybe get to Insight, but Vivid's just holding this. Just holding this right now, and now he's kind of the lone man. His teammates are still in their spawn, and Vivid almost catches another one. The push-up through middle of the map is finally coming from Shotzzy. He's not going for the objective. He's playing for the kills with his teammate. Grim, guess what? On the opposite catwalk. And I think Shotzzy, he's going to get this time. There's some weird rounds, what we typically don't see on Express. Dallas playing a little bit differently, catching Ultra off guard.
I swear, this is about the 17th player I've seen take 3 bullets and get away with their lives on the Empire side. This time, able to chase him down, though. From a 1v3 to a 1v2 now for Cammy. The bomb will go down at B. Let's see if he can make this play. Shotzzy is showing his jumping skills. Oh, it's very impressive. And we know how hard it is to retake from this side, especially when you have somebody in that position. And when that player is Shotzzy, some of the best movement in the game. Good luck. Go, oh my God. Little ledge boost off the side. No chance.
Yeah, nice job. But again, it feels like Empire kind of know the way Ultra are playing this. They're giving up the B site. So what are they trying to do? They're trying to pick off the players as they rotate back from A. They're not even going for the objective. Just really taking their time, working the catwalks, trying to find the opening. Shotzzy was able to get to Vivid. Vivid played his life so well. And on the opposite side, it's been Crim, who's just been the catwalk king. Well, that was a pre-fire that just didn't work out.
What?
Yeah,
was that literally just a wallbang pre-fire and he just smoked his teammate?
Yeah, and then he died.
Well, if we're making like a top 5 mishaps from this week, that's an easy one. All right, Crim in a 1v2. Not really anything to do with a play by Ultra. We'll see if he can clutch it up, though. I'd love to know how the comms were going during that. It must have been a circus. He is able to at least spot one, but 35 seconds now to work this. You mentioned how clutch he was. What did you say, 2011 across the 2 maps in their last series. 5-2 here. Chance to be a hero after the blunder.
Yeah, just not enough time. Cammy and Clayster, they just haven't given him a peek. You know, Crim, the way he's playing that, patiently on the block, he's hoping that someone tries to get a little sneaky, right? Tries to go on top of the train or over peaks and he can get a pick. It was a nice nade on the player who planted the bomb, but really, this was the best play. But really, the best play for Toronto Ultra is that iLLeY, well, took down himself and Vivid.
Yeah, no, they won around by doing nothing. Yeah, okay, so they were given around. Now let's see if they can do something with it. Hopefully Empire can avoid those mistakes when you're at a major tournament. It's going to be a fast hit towards A. There'll be a presence here from Ultra, and they could have a fast pinch through the flank. His two have pushed all the way through. And this just might come down to timing for Empire and when he gets picked up.
Yeah, maybe this is why we saw those 3 stacks just early on from Ultra. They know they like to go A. This time, though, the A execute comes through Empire. They're going to get the bomb down. It's going to be a 4v4. Everyone's still alive, but it is a cluster. All the Empire players are so close together. Here comes the push. Bands on top of the train. A nice nade from Insight. Able to find that second kill. And they just get suffocated out as Toronto Ultra with an easy retake.
Well, Joe, if Ultra managed to win this map, I think I know what round we're going to be looking at.
This one, because it was great, right?
Well, that's the last one. You just wonder if, like, I don't know, it's a small thing of momentum. Like, you're getting smoked, then like, all right, well, we're back in this thing. This one was very, very impressive, too, but it was just all Empire. Then the mistake happens, and it's just sometimes I just feel like when you're the underdog in a series and you're playing against a team that doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes, and a team like Ultra, you can't afford stuff like that. You just can't.
No, and they're going to make some adjustments the way Empire has been playing it. Right, maybe just a little bit different than what they're used to. I mean, just some odd rounds, honestly. Great strategies from Dallas Empire, but Ultra now just trying to figure it out. You see 2 players playing very slow towards the catwalk right now. The other 2 very aggressive towards A. And there is a stack here from Empire. With the nade, give them some information. Crim watching over his teammates. They might know this now. Here comes the push, I thought, for a second from Crim, but he's just going to back on down.
Clayster is just itching. He's ready to fight. And it looks like they might just wrap this out. They got the information. They're going to transition off of this. They'll leave Clayster to lurk. Maybe he can pick up a kill similar like we saw to Shotzzy in the opening round. Because the plant's now going down at B. And when they opt to move off of this, well, they're going to know Clayster's position now, and the bomb's going to get planted. Shotzzy at least able to get one of the trades. But Insight has got him lined up. He's top catwalk. The final goes through, and it's been 2 dominant rounds after the Empire blunder.
And I mean, what, a nade hits? Like, you could just tell Toronto wanted to get out. They're like, okay, there's probably 2 or 3 players here. We should just rotate out of this and get to B. In Dallas, because, I don't know, maybe they didn't want to overcommit. They weren't exactly sure how many players were there, but because they don't go, that opens up the B bomb site for Toronto Ultra. Just almost a little too patient there in that round.
Let's see how they changed it up this time. They should have, for the most part, a wide open bomb site at least for a second. The rotation now coming in from Ultra as they had all 4 near mid and B. Now 3 have wrapped back, 1 still lurking and Insight on the opposite side. Cammy's just spotting for information. He gets eyes on 1, maybe 2. Who's that mid for Empire, though? It's Vivid that's going to have eyes on the cross, but it's a nice first blood from Clayster to get us started.
Well, he was playing that bomb. Bomb does not get down, so now iLLeY is forced to make a play. The difference is Dallas did a little bit more spread out. They did not want to get all stuck inside of A. But because bomb's not planted, now we're into a 2v2. 40 seconds left. Insight just going to get towards his teammate. Honestly, if I'm Dallas, I kind of take this because the rounds they won, not because they've planted the bomb and won it with it down. It's kind of these skirmishes across the middle of the map, but Crim now has to win a 1v2.
20 seconds to go. It's all on Crim. He's got to plant or find these kills. And Ultra still just playing together. He's going to try and hop this. I think Ban saw him on the cross. He will fly in. Will be a freebie. 4 in a row now to Ultra.
Yeah, I mean, they're stacking towards B. Toronto Ultra is saying, hey, we'll play retake. We'll play a 4v4. We did it last round. We did it easily on our defense. So we're going to give this bomb up. But Dallas, they don't want to get stuck. They're a little bit more spread out. Shotzzy, he's just hoping he can get that bomb down and get away with his life. Maybe the round a little bit easier for Dallas there, but in that 2v2, iLLeY just gets caught, puts Crim in a tough position with no time.
And this reminds you, just what was so impressive about Ultra? Like before NYSL was in the mix, but them in FaZe, the mid-round adjustments, in any game mode, that ability to adjust has separated them from the rest of the pack, but finally something looking good for Empire. They get the 2 opening kills, and they're in a good position. They're going to be able to get this bomb planted, though, if you're Ultra. So Bance and Cammy, they've got a shot. Oh, well, now it's a little bit more difficult. Cammy will be put down. Bance has been spotted. Empire. My God, did they need a round, and they finally get one.
Yeah, they needed that bad, and, well, it's just the pre-fire down low. Stops that B push. Crim's able to find that first blood. There's one more player on B, and then in that 4v2, they just go for the B stack. They're saying the same thing, like, we'll play the retake at A, but they're able to catch the players towards B.
Yeah, I mean, the pre-fire, when it's not into your teammate, it works out a whole lot better when it hits the other team. Yeah. Nice shots from iLLeY. But, yeah, that's what it looks like when the bullets hit the opponent. They're in a 4v2 instead of a 2v4. Like, literally the exact opposite to start off. So, solid job there from Empire. But, yeah, they just needed it. I mean, after the mistake, it was just 3 more rounds right after that Ultra were able to dominate. This brings us to 4-4. And we've seen this before. Empire with the fast hit. A 2-man flank from Ultra. This time, did they pick up the flank a little bit better? Look at where Crim gets tucked away. Yep. And that's the difference between the first time we saw it.
He knows there could be a second. He's trying to make another play. Bomb is being planted. And it looks like the response is to take their side. And they're trying to, but Cammy is inside lockers. Vivid able to find one, but now it's on iLLeY in a 1v2. And again, they give up the A bomb. And they're able to win the round. Toronto Ultra just picking them apart. You see what Dallas is trying to do. You have the reposition from Crim. He's saying, hey, there's another one flank. You guys should try to fly forward. But when they try to fly forward, they just get caught.
Yeah, I mean, they're like, all right, you guys are going to take your time and clear the site. We're not there. We're going to take our time to take map control. And it's just, yeah, I like the adjustment by Crim, but there's just too many players there.
Well, now, I mean, you can just see the miscommunication right there in that best play, right? You have Shotzzy going back to mid-train. You had Vivid and iLLeY sliding off top control going the other way. It felt like there was definitely some miscommunication there in that round from Dallas.
Maybe after hearing the comms, the NYSL yesterday and how solid they were, and I don't know, some of the inconsistencies from Empire, a lot of it could be comms related. See if it's something they can improve, but now Ultra 1 round away from going up 2-0. First blood for Vance, 2 are already dropped. They're looking to close it out here with the 4v2 advantage. They started out down 0-3. Haven't really given Empire a ton of hope since then. Crim and iLLeY, though, bring it to a 2 versus 2. They've got a chance to bring this to a round 11 now. All going to be on Crim. I think his third 1v2 situation. Can't get it done. Ultra take the win, and it was a different map after that round 4.
No, it really was. And I mean, you obviously have to give props to Toronto for the adjustments that they made. And I think especially on their defenses, because as Dallas was attacking, they weren't really playing around the bomb plants. They were kind of playing, just very pick heavy, waiting for Toronto to make that move. And once we got into those retake rounds, that's where Ultra thrived. They just looked a step ahead. Well, for Dallas, when they're trying to retake right there, Toronto gives them no room to work with.
All smiles from Benjamin Vance. You love it. Ultra get the win. 5-game winning streak at Express Search and Destroy. They're 5-1 this season. So, yeah, after losing the first, they have not looked back. perfect there since the first L. Might have been a little worried as an Ultra fan once they went down 0-3, but some incredible plays. We're going to check out our U.S. Army tactical play here shortly, and first let's check out the stats real quick. Was there anything kind of insane? What, 9 and 5 from Inside, 8 and 5 from Cammy?
Well, it's just balanced. I mean, that's kind of what we see on Express at times.
Yeah, nothing too wild. But with the U.S. Army tactical play, we're actually going to do we're going to do two things. We're going to look at the round 5, which is like the round after the blunder, when Ultra just dominant, right? Like it's like a clean sweep retake. It is perfection. I think we're also going to check out what went wrong in that round 4 previously that seemed to sort of propel the shift in the game. I mean, maybe it wasn't all that, but it sort of felt like it shifted. So let's check out the good round 5 from Ultra, where they really started to get things going. It was a beautiful retake, Joe. Let's take a look.
Well, Dallas know the way that Toronto Ultra, they're going to try and switch some things up, and they go for the plant. But all 4 players are playing from inside of this control and lockers. In Toronto, they feel it out. They see nobody on the flank. They have top terrain control. The nades are hitting. All the players from Dallas are weak. Nobody drops from Ultra. Just beautifully done. They get all the information on the map.
Yeah, it's a flawless retake. But then before this is the start of the round. And Vivid's just looking to push through, and I guess there's a miscommunication. aBeZy's looking to wallbang for info and just shoots him right in the back. I don't know exactly how it went, but I don't know. It seemed to flip it on its head.
Yeah, that's when, I mean, who knows? That could have been when Ultra started to make those adjustments, and maybe they start winning anyways. But as you said,
True.
I think that maybe ruffles the feathers a little bit for Dallas Empire. Again, trying to figure things out with a new player, people in new positions, and that does not help anyone.
No, it does not. But Ultra, they go up 2-0. And unfortunately for Empire, we're now headed to Control. Where Control, they have been rough. On the other side, Ultra have been disgusting. They get the map 2 win. They look to close it out in 3-0 fashion. We get to Garrison Control after a quick break.
Call of Duty League is presented by T-Mobile, now America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G. USAA Insurance. Easy insurance for your gear, IRL.
Welcome back. Ultra up 2-0. So far, so good. Looking to close this out 3-0. They were flawless back in stage 3. They start with a bit of a road bump in the beginning of this stage. Now looking to answer back very, very swiftly. And Control is where they have been so good, Joe. They've been incredible. And on the other side, Empire have struggled. How are Empire going to pull this out?
I mean, I don't really know if they are, honestly. I just want to see some improvements for Dallas Empire.
Yeah.
I think I want to see them maybe have a more competitive map. But, I mean, you can see it here for, Toronto Ultra second in the record. I think you take stage 1 away from that. When they brought in Inside, they might be number 1 or very darn close to it. But great on attack. Their KD is up there. They're slaying with the best teams. On the Dallas Empire side, you're 1-7 in your last 8 controls. And since the departure of Hook, you just haven't really been able to figure it out.
No, and I mean, God, you think of some of the wins they've gotten, it's been in those crazy miracle ones, like against, against NYSL, against Røkkr. Like, they haven't had many wins, and when they've got them, it has just been a circus, it's felt like. But this is an overall look at the quick scope and where these teams have found the wins by each mode. But now they'll try to get the comms on point, get locked in, and bring this back to pull off a reverse sweep. But we'll have to do it against one of the best control teams in the game. And I guess if you're an Ultra fan and you're a little bit worried about their first series, you got to be feeling a bit better now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long year, right? You're not always going to be perfect. Road bumps are going to happen, but certain losses at certain times can be a good thing. We've seen that in the past. It's a motivation thing. Obviously they didn't win the third major, but they probably just expected them to cruise through group stage, maybe the way they did throughout that stage, and then they could really focus on major number 4. But a little kick in the butt by the Mutineers, and they're right back to it.
Yeah, once I looked at the stats of it, I kind of chalked it up as an off day for Cammy. He's been so consistent, and he has had a really bad series. That's all I thought it was, but we'll see if there's more to it. At least within this series, they seem to be back on their game. We get ready to hop into Garrison. We'll see who can get advantage of the opening break and get off to a smooth start. It'll be offense first for Empire. Cleanex, though, man, with his playmaking ability, he can really lock down mid-map, but okay, never mind. Crim is just peeling people. Cleanex does answer back with 2 before he drops.
That's actually big, the fact he's able to find 2 there. You'd probably have a bit more of a stack on this B zone. Maybe already have some progress. Now they have to play it a little bit differently. This is iLLeY and Vivid trying to get some position, and maybe they would have got pushed up right into lights, had someone towards that spot as Shotzzy's trying to do right now. But it's a nice response right off the spawn, and Cammy just making sure they have top green control. And this is what we typically see from Ultra. Control the power positions, and then if there's an opening, try and take it and put them in that trap.
Well, they get the retake on B for the time being. Nice start from Cleanex after that double. He's pushed out the 5-2. They got one bit of progress, but not much outside of that. They do have one guy inside top green. And that's just iLLeY looking for an opener. But his teammates all kind of dropping around him. He ends up falling as well. Now Shotzzy trying to make the play on the point. He's got a one-on-one versus Inside. Inside finds some lovely timing. Challenges out right as Shotzzy turns. Able to take him off the objective.
It's been these kills, though, that have been big for Dallas Empire, so they don't get all the way pushed back. It's been Crim and iLLeY, and they do it again. They find a couple of kills that gives them a cushion to work with, but Cleanex going on a big flank. How many can he find? Inside still alive, looking over him. But Crim inside the truck, he's like, hello, I'm still here. The last player up on that B zone, just trying to pause the clock.
Yeah, I think he nailed it in the sense that they've gotten enough kills to not get smoked, like, not get pinned deep, but after that, they've never been able to really get the next wave, right? To apply any consistent pressure towards the objective. It ends up being a really good hold by Toronto Ultra. It bounced back from kind of losing the opening engagements. And it's just dominant from there.
Yeah, it was just the next set of kills that Dallas were looking for.
Just couldn't get it.
And they never came through. They were doing a pretty good job. I think it was 13-12 in life count when we were kind of having that discussion of them not getting trapped. But Toronto Ultra, they kept control of the map. They never gave up too much map position, and they always had someone top green. Not a lot of objective work done at B either, so job well done. And now Ultra, can they win this attack?
Yeah, I just don't. They avoided ever having like a 3 or 4 down scenario. Like they never got smoked off the map. Never allowed Empire to get any kind of good control. So really good job by them. Now the offense. It's a double from CleanX again. CleanX is on one right now. He is absolutely snapping as that's 3 in a row, 11 and 5. Onto the objective he goes, and soon they'll have as much progress as we saw for Empire throughout entire first round. How do you play this retake scenario if you're Empire?
Well, and I think what was huge is it was actually a 1v2, and inside office spawn got a kill top green to help him out. That gave CleanX another 1v1. I think he probably gets hit by 2 players, but instead, CleanX still alive. Now he's got a streak. He earns that artillery on 5 in a row. On the other side of the map, it's Cammy who's pushed on out. And now if you want to, maybe you use it, at least gonna ping it and give his team all the info.
Well, Vance knows they're all flying forward, just trying to hold this corner. Defensively, they're at least able to set up a wall for now. You've got that artillery when you want to use it. We'll see when that comes into play, but nice kills from Crim to at least get them green control again and I guess put Ultra back to the first step to find an opener. That's, ooh, almost 3 in a row there for Vance. Okay, it's been a nice regain from Empire, though. They've gotten back out to mid.
That has, but we've seen this from Toronto. They just need to get a kill or 2. They'll get pushed up towards the light side, and that's what they kind of... If they're able to get into bricks, how many times have you and I see Vance, CleanX, that duo, just basically win them offensive rounds by obtaining that position? And look at Vance. It's him and CleanX. They're starting to get up in the defensive spawn. You have CleanX inside of bricks. Vance is going all the way through. So just all they needed was a little bit of an opening. They can be so difficult to take down at times.
Not going to happen, though. It was nearly there, but what's wild is you still have over a minute to play. Like, it feels like so much has happened, but they got that opening cap so quickly. There's still so much time. This might end up coming down to the lives. You've got 10 left for either side. And I thought he was going to call it, but iLLeY is going to get all 3. Nice individual moment from iLLeY. 45 seconds to go now for Ultra. And it's starting to get a little desperate now. I mean, you're only down a life, but you're going to have to get to the point at some point.
Well, and I think for Empire, too, it's 7v7. You have to play this a little patient. You can't give up 3 kills. Now the streak going to come in. He's going to try and deal with the players that are defending the point. He doesn't get one with this streak, but that next kill, huge from Shotzzy. Able to play his life. Crim looking over him. And while CleanX is having a great game, the rest of his team, not so much. In Dallas Empire, there has always been a response to slaying on point for them throughout this round.
Yeah, there's been a couple scary positions they've come out of. Well, might be another one. From a 3v6. Yeah. Oh, God, from a 3v6 to a 3v3. 8 seconds to go. The man on the point is going to be Vivid. Vivid's got a hold. The new guy on the squad. Can he step up and go big for the team? I don't know what fight that was. There ends up being a team kill. Now it's a 1-on-1. 5.6 to go. And the nade. It ends up... He doesn't heal. I think he's still at 5 HP. And Crim gets there in time to get the final one. What the hell were the final moments of that round?
Yeah, I mean, Toronto just take map control away. I think sometimes they go so fast they catch defensive teams off guard, just right up the middle of the map. Dallas, we're thinking kind of we got to bounce back from this, right? CleanX is calling that streak in. Great kills out of Shotzzy and Crim. But then it comes down to that 3v3 and Vivid, just his ability to stay alive. I know it was a weird fight, but the fact he wins that one, huge for Dallas Empire.
It looked insane. Like, it looks
so like a kung fu fight. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, like they headbutted each other. They were going out of bounds. Like, it looked insane. But Empire, hold on. How much progress did they get at the second point?
I didn't see exactly.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously have an advantage because they got a point, but I wasn't sure how much they got at B or at A. Well, Empire, they'll get the first tick done with the early push at A. They get cleared off it, though, pretty quickly. Nice clean sweep from Ultra. Grim. Krieg's still on point.
And again, this is where they've kind of been able to keep them in the rounds offensively. Is Like, Toronto has had map control, but never to the point where they've been trapped. You've always had one more alive. It was Crim and iLLeY in round 1. So far, it's been Crim and iLLeY throughout this round. At least gives them some room to work with. Shotzzy trying to work the point. Cammy's still there. Crim with a nice trade, but they're just trying to pause the clock.
Yeah, because the clock is becoming an issue now. 35 seconds to go. They couldn't get either site done the first offensive round. Can they do it here? iLLeY might be the guy that can find an opening. I thought he had the second one too, but Cleanex wins the fight. Maybe a little weak from that first engagement. Had the clock stop for a moment, but now that's going to be 2 down, 20 seconds to go. It's desperation effort now for Empire. As the players come off spawn, this is going to be the last push. You got to go through Cleanex, who's just hitting you in the face as soon as you come up. Cammy finds one too. Cleanex still lurking. Nice movement. He'll get finished, and that will do it. They don't have time to get to a point. A flawless defense from Ultra.
They do a really good job just keeping map control. As we saw in round 1, not going 3 or 4 dead. There was always a trade on the map. Cammy flies in, fans with a trade. There's always these trades. Then when they do get 3 dead, Dallas, they're just all the way stuck. It was like 19 to 18 in lives. I think it ends up being like 18-11, 18-12. They just ran away with that one. And as you said, just not a lot of progress done for Dallas Empire at B.
A question for you. Like, we talk a lot about that, right? On either side of it, how you have to avoid 3 or 4 downs, because that's usually the shift. The game plays so fast. Like, what can you do to avoid that?
Not getting gunned?
Yeah, I wonder sometimes it's as simple as that. Like, just winning gunfights or...
Yeah, I think so.
It's just a tough thing to avoid with the pace of the game. Like, you know, you can have 3-4 down happen in a second and a half, it feels like.
Yeah, I mean, if that's happening in a second, that means 3 or 4 people lost one-on-one. So, yeah.
Okay. So it can be a tough thing to avoid. Like, it's not necessarily an easy thing to do, especially if a team is hot. But Ultra have been great at it so far within this. They're up 2-1. One more round win will seal the deal. Vance keeps shooting. He knows another one's coming in. So far, Empire all right defensively. Okay, Cleanex is doing 360 melees now. That'll be 2 dead. Pressure on Crim and iLLeY to pick up the kills while their teammates work back off a spawn. 28 and 14 out of Cleanex. The man is dropping a bomb. And everybody else on his team around even or negative, like, he is just frying this lobby. He's just dominating. A triple. They're stacking. 31 and 14, 4 in a row, the zone done.
That's one of those examples. Yeah, I mean, that just cannot happen. There's no trade there. They're on top of each other. And now the transition over to A, you already have 3 teammates out here because Cleanex is killing the entire team on the opposite side of the map. Now up to a 5 spree. The progress is there. iLLeY, he's got to go, but they're down 5 in lives, trying to wait for his teammates. It is so close to being map done for Toronto Ultra.
Another kill or 2, and that might decide it. Crim was able to win a couple of one-on-ones, though, and clear it for now. So they get halfway to the final tick, but can't finish it. Still a 4-life advantage for Ultra, but as ugly as that sequence was, if you're Empire, you've still got a shot here. You can hold. But you have to be efficient in the lives count.
Yeah, that's the problem. We talked about how efficient Toronto Ultra have been at trading. There's one of those moments, though, that doesn't happen. Vivid's able to catch 2 off guard. What inside he's going on a mantle, he probably doesn't mean to. But it's tough, right? Because how do you balance fighting middle of the map and giving up lives the way they just did with maybe turtling up? And, well, they try to get aggressive Shotzzy and Crim, but they get caught. Now it's 4 dead. And now you have control of the point. Toronto Ultra, they're going to win that one. They're going to 3-0 Dallas Empire. They get right back to it.
An impressive 3-0 out of Ultra. Anyone that might have been worried, I think it came down to a couple of things from that first series. Mutineers are getting better. They're starting to click, and Ultra just, you know, didn't get an incredible series out of a couple of their superstars, but you saw it here. I mean, Cleanex, during that final round, just some individual brilliant moments. The kid is nutty.
And I feel like it's just that map, dude. I feel a couple of times we've watched him on Garrison Control, Garrison Hardpoint. He's just so active. And, you know, with Garrison, you have the ability to drop down under the tanks. There's a lot of finesse, and I think Kleenex, dude, it's kind of just his playground. It's a ton of fun to watch him, though.
Oh, it really is. That sequence was amazing. Yeah, I mean, if you're like, yeah, if you're cracked, if the movement and the gunny's feeling on point as a sub player, yeah, it literally is like a playground. It's all the mantling and sliding and spots you can get behind. The finesses you mentioned, he was just running through them. And for Empire, you know, with the new look roster, still looking for those improvements, just not going to happen here.
Well, I think for Dallas Empire, this isn't one with a new roster you expect to win. I think you're happy you survived the first series by winning a Game 5. There's a couple of moments here that, in the first hard point, right after Basketball Hill, how did that all fall apart? And that was kind of what that multi-kill by Kleenex. In Game 2, you have the team kill round when you're up 3-0, and it just feels like momentum goes away. And then right there on that control, right, how do you have a better defensive round against one of the best attacking teams in the game?
No, you nailed it. You didn't expect to win this necessarily, but still, there's some mistakes that need to be cleaned up without question. But let's get right to our scuff play of the game, and it's going to be kind of midway through that round 4, where Ultra start to run away with things, and yeah, it's probably the Kleenex highlight machine. We're going to see through a bit of this.
Yeah, I mean, this is just kind of what I was talking about. He gets into these positions. Him and Bance, they just work so well together, but his ability to reposition on the map, find those angles, and, you know, Dallas, they go for the retake here. They know there's 35 seconds left, but when you go for this is a huge risk because, look, everyone else is going down. Toronto Ultra, they fly across the map. Kleenex, he's like, oh, well, thank you. I'm going to take those 4 kills. 31 on the board at this moment. The man was doing it all.
How often do we see that? I mean, the scenario will be a little bit different, but when you're trying to retake the first point and you get smoked, it just ends up being you're battling off the back foot for the rest of the sequence. It feels like it's so difficult to do, but Ultra, they get the dub. They win it in 3-0 fashion, as they'll be excited about that one in their battle for Stage 4, trying to get back to a championship at the end of it. But for now, we're going to break things down. We're going to toss it over to Miles, Study, and Nameless after the break.
Call of Duty League is presented by T-Mobile, now America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G. Scuf, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. Seany, the official eyewear for the CDL. Armor your eyes with Seany Blocks blue light protection glasses by visiting seany.com/gaming.
Another one bites the dust here in the Chicago home series as we're getting through it real quick today, friends. This schedule brought to you by the US Army Toronto. Another sweep. Will the next series be a sweep? I certainly hope it won't be. Our game fuel marquee match coming up next OpTic versus Atlanta FaZe, and oh my word, gentlemen, what a day of games it has been already. It's me, it's Miles, it's Nameless, and it's Study, and we're going to walk you through a little bit of the next moments. Before we do that though, friends, check out the Zenny eyewear. I've got mine on all day today. We say it every time, but these big old lights, these screens are in front of, whether it be the smaller ones, mobile phones, or the bigger ones in front of your computers. Protect your eyeballs and therefore your brain. Make sure you don't get the migraines. Zenny, keep them safe. We like blockers. We love them. Beautiful stuff. And the official eyewear of the Call of Duty League with good reason. With that being said, though, gentlemen, we've got to talk a little bit of Call of Duty League. And you are a prophet. Actually, you too, Study, with the submachine gun chat. But Nameless, you said that Search and Destroy was the go-to for Dallas in that series. What happened, mate?
Yeah, I mean, it was about the only mode in that series that looked like Empire had a fighting chance as well. And you just see, I mean, Toronto, they made wonderful adjustments. They were clearly, ticked off at their last loss that they had, especially in the Search and Destroy. And today, they came with some good plays. So we're going to take a look at round number 6, where they do a wonderful play here, man. They sent a couple players over near A, and, they made quite a bit of noise. So you see Empire, this round, they were stacked over here. And Kleenex is just the last guy remaining. And meanwhile, there's 40 seconds left in the round, so the last minute or so, the rest of the Toronto players were rotating back over towards B, but Kleenex held here as the island player. Now he's done his job. He's distracted them long enough. He picks up a kill, and now Toronto's going to get this bomb planted at B. Meanwhile, Insight, he didn't fully wrap with them, which I thought was really smart, because sometimes when you see teams do that play, they'll all commit to the wrap. Well, Insight waited because he knew there were players still up top command center and catches them on their rotation to go back to B. It was a beautiful adjustment and a fantastic round out of the Ultra.
And just to touch on it, just watching Dallas Empire in the respawns, I said it before the series started, it came down to the SMG presence. And in that first map, you had one player in Vivid who dropped a 0.4, and then Shotzzy on the side who had a 0.5. And this is not good, but let's just put a lot of focus on Vivid, because this is a guy who's fairly new to this team. It's only his second match so far, but he hasn't had a good match with these guys yet. Yeah. And it's just really scary because he's a totally different player. Watching him on LAG, he was a lot more confident, a lot more just assertive on the map, and he's looking like he's just trying to fill gaps, and it's not really working out. I would like to see him to just get more comfortable, man. You're here for a reason. Dallas Empire put their faith in you, and you need to go out there and show the reason why you deserve to be here. And right now, he's just not doing it, man.
Yeah, Dallas certainly struggling, it has to be said. 5 of the last losses have been sweeps, not what you'd expect out of your world champions. Gentlemen, you're both prophets, it has to be said. It's like you do this as your job, as a living. You know what was coming, so did we. But there we go, friends. That's that. 2 of the matches done today. We still have one more. Very exciting one coming up, that Game Fuel Marquee match. We've got FaZe and we've got OpTic waiting in the wings, getting ready for this one. Upon return, I will be chatting to our boy Insight. But before we get to that, lads, let's talk about this next one. I've got ourselves a massive Game Fuel Marquee matchup coming up next. Nameless, who do you think, man? You got OpTic, you got FaZe. FaZe is dangerous. Last time they met, it was hideous. Who you got taking it today?
Listen, I'm going to shock the world with this pick, and chat's going to be like, wow, I'm actually picking them. But I think OpTic's going to take this one 3-1. We look at the maps, and they're starting off with a Moscow hardpoint. That is a fantastic opportunity for OpTic to go up in this series. You look at map number 3, it's his raid control, where they were good at earlier in the season. They seem to have found their fitting on that map now once again. And then in Apocalypse hardpoint, I think they could take all 3 respawns here. What we saw at FaZe in their last match, it wasn't that pretty. They got by the skin of their teeth. So I'm going to OpTic 3-1.
I'm going completely opposite, man. I'm going to go FaZe 3-1, and the only reason why is because, like you said, that map 4 in Apocalypse, FaZe just have a lot more reps on it. They're 3-5 on the season compared to OpTic, where they're 1-2. So playing it 8 times compared to 3, eventually you're going to fix out those kinks. I think that FaZe are just a way better team, at least in the respawns, and they're just going to walk away with that and walk away in a 3-1 fashion.
I like the sound of that one, boys. I've actually got FaZe taking this 3-2 all the way to that game 5. That's because I locked this in without having seen the maps, but I'm going to respect the pick'ems because that's where we're at. But we are bound to be treated to a brilliant series either way. 2 fantastic teams going at each other. When we come back after the break, I'm talking to my mate Jamie. I'm talking to Insight in our Game Fuel Victory Spotlight, friends. A sweet 3-0. We'll get his thoughts and feels on the subject. Until then, we'll see you, friends, after the break. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty League. It is now time for your Game Fuel Victory Spotlight. I am joined by iNsight of Toronto Ultra, a man who clearly loves the camera, and the camera clearly loves him. Having a good time, mate. Firstly, congratulations on the 3-0. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm not doing too bad. Can't complain about that victory royale. So it was a good bounce back.
A winner chicken dinner indeed. Let's talk about the search and destroy. You were down by 4. You pulled it back. It was beautiful. What was it like in that moment for the comms and the team? What was the mood going into that one?
So obviously we've studied a lot about them. We know what they like to do. Basically in the first few rounds we were kind of trying to play towards them, trying to counter them. It didn't really work, so we just had a little chat in mid-game. Said, listen, let's go back to what we normally do, our bread and butter, and we just pulled the rounds back really.
1 round at a time, mate. Well done. Coming into this stage, mate, obviously you're one of the top teams, it has to be said, no doubt about it. But what do you do now genuinely to improve? What's the focus been on this stage to improve? I mean, we saw you search and destroy before. What's been the absolute, go-to this stage?
I mean, for us, really, it's more we're trying to get more consistent at hard point, expand our pool a little bit. Obviously, we know it's not the most in-depth, and it can be better. So that's something we're definitely focusing on. And we're definitely trying to put the pieces together in S&D a bit more as well, because after stage 2 it took a bit of a dip, but we're doing things to make it a little bit better.
Right on, mate. Well, let's dive away from the game now for our final question. Can you tell us anything about you, iNsight, that we the fans may not know? Like something about your pre-game ritual, your favourite meal, what might it be? Give us a little bit of spice.
Okay. We'll go with pre-game ritual. I've always got to go to Starbucks and get a certain order. And then my favorite meal is my mum's Sunday dinner that she makes. Nothing like home cooked dinner. And I support every team in Leeds.
Good man. Good man. I feel there's more in there. We could probably get you another time, but I doubt it'll be the last time we speak in our Game Fuel Victory Spotlight. So, mate, thank you so much again. We've got that clip of you having a wicked time just coming into this interview in just a moment, mate. Thank you so much again, iNsight. Congrats on the 3-0. And here you go. You're legend. Look how happy you were, mate. Well done again. Brilliant. Passion unmatched there from iNsight. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to a break, and when we come back, it's time for that Game Fuel Game Fuel marquee match. That was your victory spotlight. It's OpTic, it's FaZe. We're having a good time here in the league. We'll be right back after this.
Okay, just go. Okay, you're shotgunning a Game Fuel Blue one to be exact? Oh, shit. Yo.
It's not time.
Envoy knows it's time for the Game Fuel marquee match because he's throwing them back. Envoy locked in, ready to roll. As yeah, I saw that clip when it got posted. It was cracking me up, Joe. But you can't not be excited for FaZe versus OpTic. It has some history. We're ready to roll.
I mean, you could not be excited because last time these two teams played, it was not good at all. I mean, so maybe some people at home might not be, but I am very excited because since that match, OpTic has been in different form. They're 4-1 since then. It feels like that really lit a fire under them. And then look at that third major, another Game 5, round 11, very close to making that run. And they're looking back into that form we expect them to be.
Yeah, a big part of it, it's Dashy. He's going to be our Game Fuel Game Fuel featured player. And Dashy, he had his struggles, and then he got locked in again, and he has been frying. I know there's been some improvements, and they've been trying to work on some of the mistakes, but I think Dashy, being Dashy, simply is enough to help them in a lot of these matchups.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the discussion was around the Krig and this and that, but I mean, stage 3, stage 2, I mean, he was fine with it. He was great. He was putting up good numbers. You know, stage 3, there was a bit of a lull time there, but at the major, it felt like he got his confidence back. I think it was just simply that. I mean, you see the year that he has had. You do not put up numbers like that across 3 stages unless you've been one of the best players in the world, and he has been. A couple off matches, sure, the whole team has that, but, you know, I think for Dashy, the sort of flow of the game, he's got to be locked in. He's got to be confident enough to take those gunfights, and at the major, we saw that.
We highlighted Dashy quite a bit, but let's take a look at the rest of the roster. Let's meet them. This is OpTic Chicago.
Bruce Almighty keeps it going. Normal, looking fantastic. Envoy slaying his way through. Scump from up high, the king.
I'm out here doing what they thinking is irrational.
Really starting to run that score up.
I'm gonna make it back. I'm gonna make it back, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, OpTic Gaming are back. Chicago are a force to be reckoned with.
As you said, Joe, since that 7-minute series versus FaZe, they have improved. They've looked strong. But there were a lot of takeaways from their Ultra loss. I mean, I found it so impressive they got to a Game 5 situation like that, considering a lot of the mistakes we saw from them. I think for me, all eyes are going to be on that. Those little blunders that seem to keep cursing them, the little mistakes or, I don't know, hesitations that this team has, can they put them in the rearview mirror and really become a top team? Because they are, but I don't know that anyone's going to lump them in with the current big 3. Can they get there?
Honestly, the way their years kind of like played out, they've had just a couple of key moments, and if they're a little bit different, they probably are top 3 at a couple of these majors, and that discussion is different. It reminds me of like Dallas last year. I think for OpTic, it's just obviously they want to compete and win majors, but can they peak at the right time? Can they get over those blunders and mistakes? And I just feel like those sort of sculpt you, right? It just is like you deal with those painful losses and it sucks, but you come out a little bit better on the other side of it, and that's what we've seen so far from this squad.
Yeah, losing is learning. Just how much can they learn? And they might learn something from this one, because on the other side of this matchup, you've got the reigning champs. They've won 2 out of 3 majors so far this year. Let's take a look at Atlanta FaZe.
The game has turned on its head. Run! Get onto the point! Cellium finds himself 2 more. Oh, baby! Absolutely slayed. What a magnificent comeback from Atlanta.
What is there to say about FaZe? They've been in all 3 finals. They're able to take the last one. They're solid in every single game mode. They have 4 players that at any point can peak as the best player in the game. They're a good team.
I mean, that's really, they're a complete team. They're tough to beat, as you said. Really, the one thing that stood out to me was like stage 2 search and destroy. But this man on your screen right here, Arcitys, for me, he was a monster in stage 3. I think he took that major 2 loss. He used it as motivation because him and Cell really struggled in the major 2 final against Toronto Ultra. And they brought it back throughout stage 3. And Arcitys, he led the league in the overall KD category. And he's just flowing with confidence right now.
100%. And you know, one of the curses of maybe being a team like OpTic and the brand and the players that it has is, you know, sometimes maybe you'll get FaZe not 100% locked in and not gonna be completely on top of things. But when you're playing a team like OpTic and you are the players that are on FaZe, like, they're gonna bring it 100%.
Yeah, and we actually have a very interesting map set here. You get Moscow, which is great for both teams, and Control Raid, which is really good for both teams. But because of the new maps, right, you have Standoff that's going to be vetoed. So you have a Miami Search and Destroy, which neither team is really great at. You have an Express Search and Destroy, which is neither team is really great at. So it's some interesting maps. Even Apocalypse, Atlanta's played a lot of it. They're 3 and 5. In Chicago, they're 1 and 2. So just the way these vetoes worked out, we have some really strong maps for these teams, but then some off maps where we usually don't see them that often.
Does it feel like this is a series that comes down to the searches, or where does it get decided for you?
Ooh, I'm looking at this first hardpoint and raid control as maybe the deciding factors. I mean, obviously it could go to like a game 5, but those two are kind of the beefy boys, I would say, because it's where both teams have a lot of repetitions. Atlanta FaZe on this map 8 and 1, Chicago 7 and 4.
As you said, some good maps for either squad. Team kill to start things off, not what you want. Envoy is going to get picked off by a Simtex from Scump, but at least Dashy able to locate a kill. But we'll see if that team kill is really going to punish them. It seems like for the most part they've survived it. aBeZy does end up getting through, but you know, there's not. I was worried there'd be a clean wipe and push and flip, honestly, after the team kill, but it's not as bad as it could have been.
Yeah, not as bad as it could have been, but still, you don't have a lot of map control. Dashy does spawn out. You have 2 players working low street right now for Atlanta FaZe. You know, OpTic has made sure they've always had someone inside of Laundry in this position, but this is basically a 2v3 towards the back. Formal able to take down 2. It's going to be Scump versus Arcitys for back street control, and Arcitys able to win it. Such a strong spot. He turns that into 2. As well, Atlanta FaZe, they're able to get 26 points off the start. Some scrap time going to go the way of Chicago, but now you have a lot of great position. He continues 5 in a row for Arcitys.
I mean, Scump got him so weak, and then that position was just nuts. The fact that he ends up on a 5 streak, just unbelievable. And you mentioned his dominance in the last stage. Looks like he's trying to pick up right where he left off. You've got numbers right now on the hold if you are FaZe, and it might be some early streaks. 6 now in a row for Arcitys. And who do you have pushing through mid already, just trying to stagger it? It was aBeZy, but he will get caught.
And that's just one of those moments, right? There's the streaks, but you know, that trade, if it's a little bit more effective, this doesn't happen. You have someone at P2 with some control. Maybe it gets messy, but you don't have the streaks. And that's just one that, you know, OpTic's going to go back and look at, be frustrated with, because this game could be a blowout here soon with those streaks, with the positioning. And he's going to go for the cruise missile, try to call the couple of players all the way towards the back. He's going to let Sim know he's not seeing anything right now. That means they're all the way back library.
Well, the call comes in. They get 3. The last player alive will drop in Envoy. 4 down. Point control to FaZe. It was clean. And early streaks, how huge they can be. But look at the control you've got right now if you are FaZe. Already 20 seconds off of this point, and really OpTic starting to get their first push on.
Yeah, I mean, because you had 4 clean dead, you had aBeZy all the way pushed up towards top escalators, right? They knew the position that they were in, and you're not even getting an attempt here. You might be able to contest this second, but no, now Cell's on a 5 spree. Dashy at least is able to have that trade, but you don't get to contest until 20 seconds left. Is Atlanta FaZe able to just use that momentum, use that streak, and get all the information to find those kills?
So, Arcity's streak started about, I think, around 40 seconds in first. 40 seconds into first, and he just died at the end of third. That's kind of wild. I mean, just that stretch without dying.
Yeah, well, he didn't have to fight anyone there for a little bit, too. But over to our game fuel featured player, Dashy. This could be a moment, though. Can they get back into it? RC still has that artillery if he wants to use it. They've gotten much better at this bus hill. This is where they've been able to earn a lot of time, and maybe to stop some momentum for OpTic, where RCs will want to use it, just regain map control. But it looks like they're going for a very wide 2-2 pinch. aBeZy's position, and Arcitys going to spawn up with him.
Well, OpTic, they go in an early hole. It was dominant from FaZe, but this is where you have to try and answer back. While we're on with our Game Fuel feature player, let's get right to an Astro listening with OpTic Chicago.
So we take it. I knew.
Another one shot.
Wait, I have your help though.
One shot.
He's hurt. He went up skis. Up skis. Abe.
Abe up skis. Weak.
Playing through. I'm playing through.
Yeah, it's in through.
He's got globe or some shit.
What'd you guys do?
Yeah, top globe.
He's like right.
Alex.
Brad dead. Nice. One player.
Eskis mundo.
Flashing street.
Mid window, you said?
Yeah. Mid window. Help. Go planner. Go planner. Go planner.
Mid window. I will.
Eskis mid window on me.
Window. I'm in the bottom.
Yo, Abe is on hill, mate.
I have your
right.
Yo, street Alex.
Nice.
Two mid window.
Yo, you're back to B search. I'm back to
He's
B search.
challenging you.
We spawn mid.
I spawn mid. Yeah, I'm gonna go Eskis. Hill, Simp. One shot.
We can time, Tim.
Okay, let's try to contest this.
Yo, take it on one shot time.
I have your right. I have your right.
My child left.
Right, aBeZy.
Nice, two. One more. Right side hill, Simp.
Turn.
And one mid window, probably.
Let's go back.
Mid window. Yeah. They're so spawning here again. They spawn here again.
Go through.
I'm hitting through.
Yo, street. Get time.
I'm getting time.
Back PD. Abe.
Get time. Look at PD for Dill.
Where was street?
Yeah, he was backside there. Street. He probably rotated. One could be glass.
Side
Yo,
door.
he's globe and glass.
One on PD.
Nice.
One PD. Weak and one.
There's two deep street. Got one.
Yo, hit through.
Help Dill.
Yeah, I'm staying alive here.
One's PD Abe. The other guy's back street.
In hill, Alec.
I don't see
cube, Alec.
Side door.
I don't see the guy. Cube Alec. One shot. In the yellow cube. One shot. Still in the yellow cube. One shot.
Hey, Abe's in B search.
I'm going front.
Yeah. Nah, I'm going
front.
Yo, once B search, push me out.
That's him.
I'm going front.
Abe weak street, bro. Abe and BSND weak.
I'm on mid right now.
We're spawning P1.
On time, dead.
Backstairs. Backstairs, so one shot. Backstairs, so one shot.
Nice, two.
Side door hurt.
I have your side.
We're back. Side door.
Back of field.
Yo, one's back hill.
I think a lot of times when we talk about what a nuisance aBeZy can be, we're like seeing it from FaZe's POV as he's flying. You got a good example of it from the opposing team's POV there.
I mean, there's just a lot of these scenarios where I think, you know, if you're an opposing team, you think they're just going to get into a setup, you have time to heal, and who's the guy just running through the door, finding 3 kills? It's aBeZy. I mean, you know, he just makes some of these gunfights look easy. They're not easy. It's just why he's such a talented player, but he takes the fight to them at times when they don't expect it. Now, OpTic, they're going to have to force to rotate on over, but you still had the artillery in the back pocket. That will open up the front of the hill. The spawns, the kills go in the way of OpTic.
And that is huge. They survived that streak. They desperately need time. 40 seconds remaining. Can they accrue all of it? Scump is trying to hold the front push. He's at least able to take down one. And Envoy still surviving the hold there as well. We go right over to aBeZy. They're looking to set up this next opening. There's only 25 seconds left or so, but it looks like they want to take another stab at this. Scump and Envoy once again finding the kills and trying to get it going. Envoy's 19 and 15. He's on 6 in a row. He's got a chance to get some streaks. Scump maybe starting to come alive a bit too. I think he was around double negative.
Well, he was around it hasn't been a great map for Scump, but even in that listening, you can kind of hear some of his frustrations. Nice. Having to take some one-on-ones against aBeZy, and aBeZy was winning them. But only down 70. He's able to get the artillery. Can he find the crews? And, you know, they have a setup here at Bus. Like, this is an opportunity for OpTic to bring it back within 20.
If OpTic can make the run, if T2B can turn it around, they're both sitting at 8 and 16, just trying to catch fire. Over to our game field featured player in Dashy. As FaZe have gotten back into the point, so that moment where it looked like OpTic could make a rally, it didn't survive long. I know no one's soaking up time at the moment, but it's not going to be a nice extra 30, 40 points as Cellium just locking down street with aBeZy. They're able to combine to take down all 4. Just too easy.
Well, and they find those kills, and look what they do, right? They flip the map. Now, at this P1 setup, you're going to have Atlanta FaZe on the side of the map that they want. They're finding the kills. They're forcing OpTic to have to work all the way across the map. You know, I was wondering if maybe Envoy is in a position he would try to use that artillery. Not able to do so, and now they need a break here and try to push on through. He still has a cruise missile to work with, so he did earn both. But, I mean, since that moment, it's just been all Atlanta FaZe in the kill feed.
Yeah, no, I mean, he just used the ping, too. He's got the streaks to work with. It's just, is the deficit too much? And we've seen some really crazy comebacks here. You can string together a lot of hard points. They're gonna need to do it. Now the artillery. He does get one. Arcitys will drop. They haven't been able to flip yet, but they're at least getting the time. Making sure that FaZe can't inch any closer to this victory, and Cellium is just finding kills and flurries. 20 and 12 now on 3 in a row.
And I think it's just like Envoy you want to use those streaks at like when you can, right? You want to use them at times where you're really owning the map to rotate, to flip a spawn, to win the next hill. They just haven't been able to do that. Envoy was hoping that the bus hill goes well, then they can use one of those streaks at P1, right? If they're able to win that bus hill, be down 20 or 30, they can use the streak at P1 to flip to P2, but that doesn't happen. Atlanta FaZe, they dictate the pace of the map by winning all of those gunfights afterwards, and as you said it, now the deficit just too big.
Yeah, I mean, they get a decent streak use there in the sense he gets 2 when they get into the point. There's still one lurking in the back, but yeah, it's just you're still down 100. Scump now getting going. Dashy finds one as well. And they pull off the improbable behind this rally. This is where you just wish maybe you had one more streak so you can transition out of this and maybe get a quick break at third.
That's what I mean, right? You want to be the one dictating when you can use those. On the other side, though, is Atlanta FaZe, because they were so close to winning, they forced his hand. He had to use both of them to get them off the first and the second hill. And well, on rotation, aBeZy able to find one. They got to go 14 seconds until Atlanta FaZe close out on this map number 1. It's just going to be Dashy and Scump until the rest of their teammates can get there, but they're going to get shut down.
In FaZe, they start out hot. They get streaks early. It's a 9 streak from Arcitys that makes the noise in the beginning of the game, and they take it. 250 on the board, 157 for OpTic, and it was dominant from the get-go. I mean, in Arcitys, he was so impressive early, but I think Cell might have had like 4 different 5 sprees. I felt like he was working towards streaks more often than not.
Well, that's what made them so scary throughout stage 3. Like, obviously, you still have Simp and aBeZy, which is fantastic, but it was really the ARs, especially on a slaying level, that have just stepped up since that second major, since that loss. Those two have been playing at an incredibly high level, and they've been so consistent.
Yeah, I think if you're OpTic, you're just hoping, for Formal and Scump, they both started out double, triple negative. They started to heat up a little bit as the map went on, but it was just too late. Just hope maybe that was a flat start for them. They got into a groove later in the map, and then they'll bring it the rest of the series. But yeah, it was just, it just started out poorly. You had the team kill from Scump, so it ended up being quick hard point control and a flip about 20 seconds later for FaZe. You got the 9 spree on Arcitys right away to get streaks to make it even more difficult. It's just before you knew what was going on, it was like an 80-point hole.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the Arcitys trade, right? Those streaks, to me, that's a huge moment. And then that bus hill, when Envoy finally gets going, when the momentum finally starts to shift in favor of OpTic's way, Atlanta FaZe, they get the break, they get up to over 200 points. That forces Envoy to use those streaks.
FaZe, they're loving the map 1 victory. The boys in control early, up 1-0, continuing their dominance after the major 3 victory. We'll head to Search and Destroy after the break.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by GameFuel. Unlock a CDL team pack with any purchase on gamefuel.com/CDL while supplies last. Offer ends on August 31st. Tournament audio and team listen-ins are powered by Astro Gaming, the official headset and mix amp of the Call of Duty League.
As players are getting prepped to hop into the map 2, we're going to get right into our game fuel keys to victory, talk through some of the biggest points for these teams, and we're going to start it off with Atlanta FaZe.
Yeah, surprise, surprise. aBeZy, he was the difference maker in Stage 3, Search and Destroy, 1.88 in their wins, 0.65 in their losses. But can he keep that going? And you see the difference here. S&D needs to be a major focus for this team. And Majors 1-3 when they won, their overall record 23-7. When they lost the second stage, it's 4-7. And Arcitys, we talked about it, can continue to play his game. He's just been so good recently.
Yeah, I think he only ended up like 20-18 considering the 9 streak. But it set the pace, right? Set the tempo for that game early on, and he's dancing now. That's how things are going for Arcitys, as he knows he's playing well. He knows he's getting the gas, and now we'll start to talk about the other end of it for OpTic Chicago, how they're going to come in here and get a victory. They've been improving as of late. Joe, how can they get it done?
Well, Scump and Envoy have really, stepped up their level. We saw it against Røkkr in that 3-0 sweep. They were plus 26, but even at the major, Scump and Envoy both in Search and Destroy really thrived. And then widen that S&D map pool. Fact is, his checkmate was one of their best. Standoff could become their number 2 alongside Moscow, but, well, guess what? Atlanta FaZe, they vetoed that map, so we're not going to see that one today. That's why we're going to Express and continue the balanced play. Since the loss to Atlanta, they are 12-4 in map count. Their only loss is that Game 5 to Toronto Ultra. So you take those 3 maps away, and it's been like, what, right around almost perfect for them. They've just really hit a new level. Just these top teams competing with them. You'd love to have a W, get some momentum on their side.
And that's going to be interesting. I think most of us kind of celebrated the fact that Standoff is back in. I think everyone kind of loves that map. But for the teams that were good at Checkmate Search, it kind of adds more work, right? You got to find something. It has to be Standoff or one of the maps maybe you weren't good at previously.
Yeah, and Standoff, what? We saw OpTic win that one. Atlanta FaZe, they got smoked on it. So maybe just with this match, they didn't want to play it. So Express is open. You see it there. It hasn't been a great map. Atlanta FaZe, we know that they were very, stubborn is the way with Apocalypse and Express and really trying to force it as much as possible to get those repetitions. So they have the practice, but they're 3-6, not the best record. 2-2 for OpTic.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised not to see Standoff they seemed last stage just if it was a new map,
no, I thought for sure we were going to play it, but I think run it. I think I don't know, they got 6-0. It didn't look great.
No, it didn't. It didn't at all. aBeZy able to get the trade, but it is a first blood for Scump. And that bomb will get planted. Action. Yeah, you love to see the far out. Thing hits like a hammer. But now a 3v3 retake for FaZe.
Well, Dashy gets a ton of info there. He's able to spot 2. That's your teammate. My man, it's turned.
Whoa! Get to 16 HP, but stays up for now. Just around 20 seconds to go. Gotta find an opening. aBeZy will drop. Good positioning there from Formal. Cellium with a kill. 2 versus 2. Just running out of time now. It's all going to be on to Envoy. 1 versus 2. 10 seconds to go. Good finesse to get back up top. They're on it, though. The slide out, the kills, and Envoy clutches up to close out the round 1.
Huge play out of Envoy. They spread them apart and they find those kills. But right here, there's 10 seconds left. He has the time to regain health. And then when you pause right there for a second or two, it forces them to pick an angle. When you don't re-peek right away, Cell has to take a guess. Is he going top? Is he going to repeat down low? He just gets to his health. He's able to slide on out. And then with that slide, he takes down the bomb diffuser. Able to find the second as well. Beautiful stuff from Envoy.
Yeah, good pressure in play, or good play considering the pressure was on. From Envoy. Round 1 to OpTic. They're so turnt they forgot about the bomb.
It's a patient round. It's bait. Arcitys, he's got to throw a stun. He's got to throw a stun, make sure nobody's there. There's someone else
so they've got the bomb now. If you're not aware, in Search and Destroy, that is a big part of it. I was just looking at the minimap, like, they were all, like, at mid-map. I'm like, all right, well, they're going to realize it eventually.
Yeah, but look at this play. So they know off the early B hit, it's going to be a quick rotation for OpTic. And they just go through mid-train and take the cross. Dashy was the one player staying at A. He saw a player that gives them the call out. All right, it's an A hit. They're probably going to give the bomb, right? Nope. Atlanta FaZe, they just cross the tracks. They look both ways. They get the bomb planted. Now for OpTic. Have to retake here. aBeZy and Cellium on both catwalks. I thought aBeZy was going to find one, but it turns out Dashy and Formal finding the early picks.
aBeZy going to get laid out as well. RC's nade will hit. 2 versus 3 now for FaZe. Here come OpTic. Simple drop. Last guy is RC's. They will soar out. The headshots through on everybody. Back-to-back rounds for OpTic. They're playing some great search and destroy.
I really thought aBeZy and Cell were going to find like 2 or 3 there in that transition period, and they actually end up with none because they had a crossfire. Obviously, it's the 74U, but we know that thing can do damage. And then you see where the bomb is planted, right? Arcitys and Simp down low, they kind of have to take fights right away with the position because it was planted on the front side of the bomb towards OpTic. So you don't have that angle. They got to get aggressive, and with the numbers, OpTic with a nice retake.
And it was kind of simple and subtle, but just nice kind of position and movement there from Scump to avoid getting ripped by Arcitys. Able to help his teammate with the first fight and then reach out. He drops there. That might go a little bit differently. And it's just a simple strafe to get behind cover, but, you know, sometimes you chow that fight. He doesn't. Nice play to get the win. Now back over to offense we go. 3-0 start for Envoy.
And offensive teams really getting patient because, you know, we see so many retakes, and what do defenses try to do? They try to cheat, right? You don't see anything at B. That means it's probably an A hit. So they hit the flank right away to try to get map positioning. So what offensive teams are doing are playing very slow in the spawn and trying to catch if anyone gets aggressive. Well, you're going to have one player on an island, and it's Selling. We've seen him in this spot so far. Can he find a kill? Looks like they're going to back away.
And that whole time, Arcitys has just been lurking. OpTic, you know, they wrap it to B, they wrap it back. He's just been tucked away here in a corner, just waiting for the setup to come through. Now there's only 30 seconds on the clock, and OpTic have got to go. Some help here in the form of aBeZy now. And Arcitys is taking over this round by himself. There's 3 looking for the ace. Scump will make sure that doesn't happen. But it will be a FaZe round victory.
And, I mean, it's a great job, right? I mean, they stay in the 2-2 split, which we have seen 2-2 splits kind of just not work. You can get picked apart if it's a 4-man hit. You had Simp and Cell on one side, aBeZy and Arcitys on the other, and just with a couple of off angles, Arcitys with that 74U able to connect onto 3.
I think he had a little help with the last guy. One bullet him, basically.
Yeah, a lot of help, yeah.
Well, this time they got the bomb right away, so that's a good start to the offense. It looks like they are massively waiting on some over-aggression from OpTic. Or it's just going to be a delayed hit to B as they're starting to work out. Here they go. Formal, he's going to get isolated. There's a swarm flying at him. Through the catwalk push, it is Arcitys. Nice nade. Good damage in. OpTic, they are just dropping now. Scump going to be the last guy up, and there is a swarm of FaZe in front. They ran through him there.
And that's one of the examples of when you kind of have 2 players stay, because they stay in a 2-2 split. You have Envoy and Formal. They have to transition across. It's Scump and Dashy down low. The first blood comes in, or maybe it's Formal there first, and he gets picked. But then you have the rotators come in. They're trying to help Scump out because he's all by himself. If you're going to stay in that 2-2 split setup, you have to be able to at least find a kill or 2 so your teammates can get to you.
Yeah, you just saw how difficult that looked for Formal. I mean, he was the guy that was going to get it, and he was just getting shot from what felt like everywhere. Simp is able to at least get one as he gets isolated. Dashy, his first kill on the map, and it's their turn to run through him. Oh, okay. I thought he needed one more bullet. Maybe that turned into a 1 versus 1, but Formal able to finish the fight, and kind of similar rounds back to back as either team get aggressive.
Yeah, you take the express brawl, as I like to call it, down at B. Everybody just flying down those terminals. And yeah, I mean, you know, OpTic, they get those first picks. They have the numbers then, and when Atlanta FaZe is all there, you were waiting on maybe one player to work that flank. That was Arcitys, but someone picks it up. A nice round by OpTic. No, they just take it right to him.
All right, maybe no brawl this time. OpTic were ready. FaZe
They're
didn't feel
ready
like
for it. They're going
yeah,
for it.
They were ready. Bring it here again. No 2-2 split. They just stack it. So now we'll see kind of that default A retake. This will be a fast plant from FaZe. They got one watching the flank push through. aBeZy has got pushed up the lurk mid. And he catch somebody. Here's the trophy. That's going to be a freebie. HyDra out. Scump able to take that. Will that give them a chance in the round? Because Arcitys also on the kill feed. Now Arcitys out of it. They bring it back to a 2 versus 2.
Just the time. Time's the problem here again. On these retakes, it's just been so tough for the defensive teams. Formal is on it, but it's almost a deja vu with Envoy's position. Cell, he's just going to slide on down. 9 seconds left. He knows he only needs one kill, and he finds him.
Yeah, just do they feel that they each need to replicate like a round from the other team?
But that round, though, it is all set up by the FaZe precedent before that because they were playing so patiently and they wrapped back to B early on in the game. There was no 4-man transition from B to A from OpTic, right? 3 stayed. The only player that wrapped back was Dashy. That allows aBeZy to get inside the train, right? Because they did a very fast wrap earlier in the game. OpTic was being patient, and they did not go on that rotate until the bomb was planted.
Well, this time, Arcitys just soars on in. Envoy able to trade on one, but he gets shot in the back immediately after. Quickly, it is Formal by himself in a 1 versus 3. We'll see if he can make the play.
Yeah, he's got just so much work. The bomb's down. You have Cell, who in himself can be probably the hardest kill in the CDL. I think he's going to get spotted, wrap on back. Yeah, you see Simp and aBeZy, both their arrows look this way, but now that he's spotted, it's going to be difficult, and aBeZy a bullet or two, and he's away with his life.
I mean, they're a bit spread. You might be able to get a couple one-on-ones, but now time's starting to dwindle. Under 30 to go. He's just looking to find any kind of opening. And they're just not giving it to him. aBeZy from the top office has the position, puts FaZe back out in front, up 4-3.
I mean, now if I'm OpTic in this position, I mean, they retook B already. I just, you know, maybe you start off 4B early on because they won that team fight earlier. But I think if you think they're going A, just stay as a 4. Just play the retake if they wrap back to B, no problem. We'll just see what they decide to do because I think last time they tried to maybe overthink at times, keep a couple of players back. It is going to be a low B hit. They might end up having to play a retake, and that's what's going to happen.
Scump's going to get quite a bit of information now in the form of a stun to his face. His duo and Formal rotates over and gets the first blood. Scump's just got to try and stay alive. 3-man hit towards the ramp. They're going to be ready for it. A flurry of kills. Who comes out on top? It's going to be a 1 versus 1, and of course it's Arcitys who takes the fight and clutches up the round for FaZe.
Yeah, they're shooting the trophies. They're trying to get theirs down, but Dash and Envoy get caught with nothing. And then I think Scump is just trying to time it. Scump's trying to time it on the pinch through ticket booth where he can help his teammates. He ends up finding one, but at that moment, it was already a 1 versus 2, and just not anything he's able to do. That's just a really great play by the main ARs of Atlanta FaZe. Arcitys and Cellium win them that round.
Yeah, Arcitys now up to 11-6 after the Great Map 1. Good first blood from Formal. They've got to rip off 3 straight rounds. And nice start to do so. And where do they opt to take this hit? Because obviously they don't have the eyes we do on the minimap, but most of FaZe towards the A site. One wrapping back is Cell. And this, I was about to say, they might find an opening, but not going to happen. Formal picks up the read.
He's at the bomb, though.
Oh, no. Simp is able to get 2. Scump starting to clutch up, though. Simp now for the ace in the 1 versus 2. Puts it to a 1v1. Simp. Scump for the game. Oh! Scump takes it, wins the 1-on-1, and survives a dagger ace from Simp to go out up 2-0.
Well, I think you heard the pre-fire. I think Scump thinks he's in a different corner. I don't think you get a full... Well, I don't think he's able to regen the full
Nah, he wasn't
Simp,
full, I don't think.
Yeah, Envoy, he flies out, and he gets gunned, but it's so close to him regenning his full health, and you hear Scump kind of shoot around the corner. Maybe he hears a call-out, but the re-snap onto him, a nice one-on-one win, and Scump really bails him out of that 2v2.
Yeah, because it was, what, a 4-on-2?
4v3 again, I think. Yeah.
Well, it was a 4-on-3, then a 4-on-2, I believe.
4-on-2.
Yeah, yeah. And OpTic do it. Another round to push this one the distance. Going to be a free and open bomb site. Arcitys gets tagged a bit on the cross, but he's able to get here and get bomb planted. The swarm of OpTic now rotating across. It looks like there's going to be a late pinch that's going to develop from Simp. Is he going to get there in time? Because OpTic are flooding forward.
This isn't something they've done yet. Yeah.
And the pinch is going to work. 2 will fall. You've got numbers now. 1 player left. It's going to be Scump. Got to be the hero again, and it's not going to happen. The flank from Simp, enough to close it out. They get the game 2 victory, go up 2-0.
Yeah, it's just not something that they showed right yet in their arsenal. And even props to Arcitys, because he's got a 74U in the bomb. Early on in that round, they 3-hit through lower B, but it's the middle push out of Arcitys. He knows that the A bomb site's open. So he just goes for the plant. And again, you're not really there until, what, 30, 40 seconds left on when the bomb is down, OpTic, and then it's kind of go time. They know they have to go and get that defuse in. Simp, he hasn't late pinched. He does it in that round, able to catch 2.
Yeah, I mean, the whole time I was just staring at it, it's like, does he get there before they run through him? And you have numbers for a second. They don't know when he's coming. If they hit a couple seconds earlier and find a couple kills, maybe that doesn't work out that way, but Simp gets there in time. He goes 8-6, 11-8 from Arcitys. Simp nearly with a crazy ace to win it in round 9, but he does get the dagger eventually. And I mean, this is a tough match from Dashy. I didn't realize he's 2-10. So he ends up actually dying in every single round. Only 2 kills, 600 damage. Not a brilliant round out of our game field feature player.
No, not at all. Not when we know how Express is so many retakes and 4v4s and efficient trades, right? That's what we've kind of talked about with Express. There's at least a number of rounds with that 3v4 retake where they have the number advantage. That's when they can go back and look at. They should be able to close that one out because their trades aren't on point. Arcitys and Cellium, they win that one. So a couple individual plays, and for Dashy, just a rough map.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's check out our U.S. Army tactical play. It's going to be Arcitys making some plays, I believe, in round 3. He was solid throughout. He ends up with 11 kills, but we'll check it out one more time. This is the 3 he's able to get. A little help on the 3rd.
Yeah, just a little bit of an off angle here, waiting for the player to get pushed up. Again, FaZe is in a 2-2 split. So this is all on Arcitys and aBeZy to lock this site down. But it's kind of just one at a time. You don't really have a team push here. Scump's worried about the pinch. And Arcitys, he hears a slide from Dashy. He's able to connect. And then, well, Formal goes for the trade. But aBeZy's watching over him.
Our duo has a lot of experience together and a lot of wins there. They're able to chalk up another one. FaZe celebrate the victory. OpTic looking to bounce back. It'll have to happen in map 3. We'll have raid control coming up after the break.
Call of Duty League is presented by T-Mobile, now America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G. Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. Seany, the official eyewear for the CDL. Armor your eyes with Seany Blocks blue light protection glasses by visiting seany.com/gaming.
Welcome back. We get right back to it. It's the Gatefield marquee match. It is OpTic versus FaZe, and we're going to talk a little bit about OpTic so far this year. And Joe, I'm just curious to kind of get your opinion. So we're going to talk about them versus top 4 teams and then versus the bottom 4 teams. They have struggled mightily when playing against the top competition. They've been great when playing against the bottom. I think that logically for any team kind of makes sense in a way. Like, you know, you beat teams you're better than, you lose to teams that might be better than you. But do you think there's more to it with OpTic right now?
I mean, it's just like, even throughout this match, I mean, there's just these key little moments that they just can't seem to find the success and turn it into momentum for them. In the game 1, it's something like the trade on Arcitys, and then he turns that into streaks. And in the game 2, it's the 4 versus 3 retake when they have the man advantage and his bomb is down and they have to retake it. That's the difference from maybe a more competitive map 1. That's the difference from a round 11, right? It's just these key rounds they can't give to the top teams or they'll take advantage of it.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Like the little mistakes you get away with when you're talented enough, or that much more talented than the team you're playing. But when you're on par or a team is better than you, those little mistakes, they punish you big time.
100%. Yeah, it's those little mistakes against the bottom 4 teams you can get away with for sure.
Well, let's see if they can clean it up here as we get ready for raid control. It's 10-2 for FaZe on the year, 11-5 for OpTic. It's kind of similar to the Moscow, like just really good maps for both teams, just a bit better for FaZe considering the year they've had.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you've played this 16 times if you're OpTic. For Atlanta FaZe, they obviously have raid. They have Garrison is there. 2 control maps that they really play in. OpTic doesn't play a lot of Garrison control. They would probably like to play them on checkmate, but that's just not going to happen with Vito's.
No, it is not. Well, Scump is drilled down to 14 health, but able to stay up as they look to capture the zone. Envoy is chasing Cellium, never a fun guy to chase, but Scump gives a little help with a nice toss into the window, and this is a great opening break and should be the point considering they only got 1 kill to take that.
Yeah, I mean, Atlanta FaZe were kind of setting up maybe to take Art. They're hoping the player that was trying to get top laundry, that Envoy flanks, to find a kill or 2 on the point, and then that's when they can go, maybe put them in that trap. But now you get into your sort of default position. You see RC's already all the way pushed up towards that back garage and where he's forcing the spawns. But you have 3 members from OpTic here. Dashy's finding some spawn kills, 2 players pushing up mid-stairs. Scump, though, he's going to wrap back to help his teammates, and here we go. OpTic, they're flying forward.
All right, well, they fly forward, and finally, FaZe gets some kills to restart. Yeah. It's almost like, I mean, they got first point so quickly, and there was such a little presence there for FaZe. I thought FaZe were like setting up a practice session on their holds at B. Like, it's not usual that you get 1 kill to get a point,
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, they're hoping, I think it was Simp going top laundry. If he finds one, then that allows the players middle of the map to go. Arcitys probably pushes the flank, but he dies, so Arcitys just backs up, and so do the rest of the players. There's just not an opening, and they don't want to risk it.
And to be fair, how much have we talked about that the past few weeks? Just when you risk it for that first sight defensively. sometimes you lose the round the next 30 seconds. They just want to play it a bit more cautious, and they know they can. And well, any team, we've seen everyone do it at some point. You can hold this for 2 minutes, absolutely, and they're showing it right now.
Yeah, 100%. It's a singular objective. Get into your positions. Don't allow OpTic control kitchen. They haven't allowed that to happen. And you know, you had a lot of time, you had a lot of lives, but now there's 40 seconds left in Atlanta FaZe. They've been so darn good since that moment.
Yeah, I just don't feel like it's that often that it happens that, I guess, that quickly before you even take one shot at it, you know? Like, there's usually one attempted retake. They were like, nah, we're good. We're going to go get posted up. So that brilliant opening, or well, it's that really quick capture from OpTic. It looked great, but now it's a 5 life advantage for FaZe, and time is dwindling. Only 10 seconds to go. Scump, really the last one in position, and he will drop. I don't even think they can get there in time now. It ends up being a really solid 2-minute plus hold from FaZe on the B objective.
Yeah, you had the one instance where Envoy comes all the way back, Scump's able to find a kill. But then I think it was Simp or aBeZy who finds a multi-kill right outside of money window, and they did that a couple of times. They just never allowed OpTic to get kitchen control. When you don't allow that to happen, they can't push out quickly onto the point. Nicely done by Atlanta FaZe.
Is anyone working? Well, no, I mean, it's 4 in a row for Arcitys coming into this, so a chance to get towards some streaks, but nothing crazy. A rough opening round from Formal as he starts out 1-7.
Yeah, he had a rough map 1 too.
Yeah, just like the start. Like he's picked it up a bit as we got going, but not good starts in the respawns, and Cellium wants to keep it that way. As he'll beam him across ringside. I'll get 2 now onto the point. Big one-on-one in Art will go the way of aBeZy, so he'll be able to help out his teammate, and the help comes in instantly. aBeZy and Arcitys, that duo has had some amazing moments over the course of this match. They work together there well again. Second bit of progress done, almost the time extension. Now, this is one of those situations where they sent one player at it. The rest wrap back to get in position, so they could be okay. I was a little bit worried at first when I saw the green arrows running over. They might get caught.
Yeah, whoever pushed through it spawned Cellium water side, so that's why he's in this position. But Dashy just takes him down as he's on a 4 spree, regains bedroom control. I thought that risk maybe a bit of an overstep, but we're able to retake this position. And now middle of the map, you see it's Arcitys and Simp flying on down. Formal's going to get caught off guard. It's a nice job by Envoy and Scump to respond.
Yeah, poor Formal just cannot get anything going right now.
There you go.
He thought he was tucked away in a bit of a corner, and it just gets red. That's 3 down. Formal's going to be the last guy up. Well, I guess he's got Dashy in the back, sorry. But Dashy now falls. Formal falls. This will open up the objective. Now they can focus on all the players spawning up. You still have one holding mid-courtyard from Zig as well. Scump maybe giving them a little bit of freedom. The 2 subs on OpTic get some big kills to get them off the objective.
They're just trying to get inside of Tiki. You get inside of Tiki, that's where you can really finesse your life. But then they go 4 dead right after that. They challenge the gunfight. You just need someone to slide into Tiki there and get a different angle. But Cell's able to stay alive, find another kill. Now you have 3 on the point. And all the positioning to work with, and OpTic, they have to go.
They got to fly forward now. Nobody's going to get there. The crosses are picked up. FaZe, after the 4 down, it is capped quickly. Up 2-0 in the control.
I mean, you did the hard play, right? Like, Envoy and Scump got 2 kills to get him off of it. Arcitys is just locking down the middle of the map to make sure his teammates off a spawn can get some map positioning. But Cellium's the player you have to take down, and he's just tucked away in that corner. And instead of one player going inside of Tiki, there's an over challenge. In Atlanta FaZe, they take that mid-map position, they run away with the map.
Well, a hold here will be another 3-0 in this matchup. FaZe are close to doing it again. And that's 3 down opening. Formal, the one person that had a shot to keep it a little bit even, at least takes down 2. It looks like they want to start to work to the other side. That's going to transition 2 FaZe players across. The guy to pick it up is going to be aBeZy. Several FaZe players will fall. An opening here for a second, but aBeZy only wants to close the door here from Tiki.
I'm just waiting for Formal and Scump. I thought they were going to go across towards A. It looks like they were waiting for Cellium to show himself. Finally, he's going to be able to shoot, and maybe with that kill, they go back to A. But they're still just kind of hanging out around the middle of the map. They don't commit to an objective. And now it's just you have 40 seconds left. And you see number 7. Simp is the key player here. Because the transition is here, but what can Simp find? He could be the one to spoil this round, but not able to take one down. That's a really good job by Scump and Envoy to stay alive, at least for now. But with 25 seconds, you see all the white arrows. They are soaring across the middle of the map. They want to end this right now.
Yeah, how different is this from round 1, right? Round 1, they give it up and hold for 2 minutes. Not this time, not with that amount of time on the clock and a 2-0 edge. They want to end it, break the back of OpTic, and that's exactly what they're doing. Look at the position of FaZe and everybody in gym and garage right now for OpTic. You are just coming up the gunfights, and now it's going to be streaks on Arcitys, sitting at 13-6. What a series he has had. They don't have a shot to get to it. Time will dwindle, and FaZe 3-0 the control. They 3-0 the series. They are simply too good.
Yeah, I thought with Simp going down, they would just get on the point, but some more kill. When a kill goes down middle of the map, you had Cell who was able to get a pick laundry side, and that's just the green light. That's boom. We're going to retake this now. We retake it. There's only 20 seconds left. I still have the artillery. They put him in that trap, and well, for OpTic, they just could not get out of garage.
Yeah, and I wonder if you're thinking, like, if you're OpTic, like, all right, round 1, once we got control of this, they gave it up and went for the long hold, and it was the exact opposite. You called it. You saw the white arrows. Just no hesitation, send it to the point. They want to close it out there. And probably, you know, knowing Arcitys has a streak, that might play into it as well. But, man, I mean, after they get the kills on the point, when you looked at the minimap, wait, you had like a player art, one holding driveway, one pushed up Zig, and all the green arrows were literally just like by the doorway between gym and garage, like with 15 seconds to go. What in the hell are you supposed to do there?
You don't, you lose. You lost. Yeah, that's what happens. You can't do anything.
We've had so many, I guess, like last second heroics, where you've seen teams pull off these crazy moments at the end of a control round, but like, just look at the map. It's like, I don't know, how do you get it done? But unbelievable from FaZe. They continue right where they left off at the stage 3 major. Arcitys, the stellar series. 11 in the search and destroy. He got streaks in both of the respawns. aBeZy doing aBeZy like things, just being annoying and applying pressure at all spots in the map. But OpTic have absolutely gotten better, and we're all excited to see how far they can push it. FaZe is just still, they're far ahead.
Yeah, I mean, 9 sweep this season, the most in the CDL. 2-0 start here in stage 4. And the only thing that looked off was just standoff, search, and destroy, which I'm sure probably after this series, they'll probably play every single time. As we know, that's what they like to do, to test things. But I think a key is they want to express, right? A map where they've struggled in the past, but they had 9 repetitions on it. They showed some different things today. And, well, sometimes some individual plays bail you out, and that happened today.
100%. Let's check out the Scump play of the game. It's going to be the end of that round 2, where, you know, I think with Scump and Envoy, they get the opening kills to retake the point. It's looking good, and then FaZe do FaZe things.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like that. That's the hard part, because now FaZe, they can't play for it. But you see, so Arcitys is holding middle of the map so Simp can get set up. But it's this right after. You have nobody goes inside a Tiki. Simp gets a kill inside a kitchen, and that just opens up the entire point. I mean, Tiki is the key there, because if you have Cellium taken down and you have someone inside a Tiki bar, even the players coming out of money, there's just too many angles to check. You're probably going to catch them off guard, at least trade one kill, you would think, but instead it turns into a clean 3-4 dead for Atlanta FaZe.
Yeah, and at the same time, it's like if Scump wins that 1-on-1, you're probably all right. But the fact that, you know, he takes the fight, he loses it, and you don't get Tiki control, it's kind of the first domino and things fall apart. But a look at stage 4 and how it has played out and how it will play out for Atlanta FaZe. They start out 2-0, as you said, wins over Legion and OpTic. They got Surge, Thieves, and Røkkr to follow. Looking at it right now, I mean, there's no reason they shouldn't be perfect through this stage.
Yeah, and then on the OpTic side, you win the first one, you lose a tough one there. It's kind of the same thing for me. Based on what we saw at Major 2, Paris is not in the best form yet. Seattle Surge, they looked better in the respawns for sure versus the LA Thieves. They had to figure out that search and destroy, and then LA Thieves just trying to get back into shape with TJ. This is an opportunity for OpTic to get back into that winners bracket for the next major. And they want to, right? It's going to be on land. They want to start in the winners bracket.
Yeah, and just looking at it, they should. They have a really good shot to do it. Continue to improve, get into winners bracket, and then get back to land, and who knows what the hell happens. Maybe some things will shift, but it is going to be a victory there for FaZe. We're going to get ready to head to break. On the backside of the break, we've got Miles with Simp for an interview. You don't want to miss it.
The Call of Duty League is presented by Seany, the official eyewear for the CDL. Armor your eyes with Seany Blot's blue light protection glasses by visiting seany.com/gaming. USAA Renters Insurance. Level up your gear protection.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your Game Fuel Victory Spotlight. I am joined by the one and only Simply Land of FaZe. Get out of the shot, we're trying to do an interview. Hey, congratulations.
My spotlight. This is my hard carry.
Dude, congratulations once again on the 3-0.
Thank you.
Dude, let's just go straight into this one. This is an exciting matchup to watch, obviously our Game Fuel marquee matchup. Was this personal for you guys? Was this something you were looking forward to? What was the vibe like going into this?
The vibe was really good today, actually. We had a really good warm-up scrim, which I think was really important for just our teamwork in general going to the match. So, I mean, always playing, whenever you're playing the top team, it's always good COD. So we're super pumped to go into this, and especially a little bit more because of how our last match went. We wanted to show that, server or not, we're still the dominant team that we are.
Dude, I love it. It was just a little personal. I like that. There's something special to carrying this matchup.
Yeah, just
your
a little
teammates are
hint of it,
incredible. Just a little hint of it. Your teammates are incredible. Let's talk about Arcitys. Let's talk about Cell right now, because we give aBeZy enough love. It's about time he shared the spotlight. Your guys went insane in Search and Destroy, man. What is it like being on a team like that when they're popping off, they're making plays, they're making the right calls? How easy does that make your job?
Oh, I mean, my job honestly couldn't be any easier than it is now. I kind of just, my entire team is nasty, and I'm not saying I'm not, but I'd rather them start frying everybody while I do the whatever, whatever I need to do, I'll do. I'll let these guys fry all they need to, because these guys are disgusting. I love teaming with these guys.
It's so good, man. Blessed, truly blessed to have such great teammates. Last question, dude. We've seen a lot of things on social media right now about your new home. What is it like being a homeowner? And have you learned anything strange or crazy now that you're now you got your own keys to your place?
Definitely learned a lot with kind of just maturing in responsibility because I'm not even 21 yet and still got a lot to learn left in life. So definitely a huge learning experience with my first home with my girlfriend Jerica. But yeah, I mean, just super excited to have it and actually have a place to like grow and just have friends over and not have to worry about anything. So it's amazing.
It's incredible, man. Well, congratulations on the house. Congratulations on the 3-0.
Thank you.
And we wish you the best of luck in the rest of the stage, mate.
Thank you.
The one and only Simp, ladies and gentlemen, of Atlanta FaZe, a wicked, wicked series and closing out the day. But we're not finished just yet, friends. That game to your victory spot, it means one thing. And that means that after this commercial break, it's going to be me, Nameless the Study, breaking down the final moments of the day and getting you ready for the next week of games. We'll see you after this quick break. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty League. The day is done, the end of the Chicago home series, and what a wonderful home series it was. For chills, thrills, spills, kills, etc, etc, etc. We're here looking at the schedule of that wonderful home series brought to you by the US Army, and it's all done. 3-0s across the board, including, of course, that Game Fuel marquee matchup. Again, OpTic going down 3-0. The current reigning champs, Atlanta FaZe. No massive surprises across the board otherwise. I think Empire could have seen a little bit more out of them, and it could have been coming home in that first matchup. Of course, Florida walking away with that one. But it's myself, it's Study, it's Nameless, and we're going to walk you through the rest of the moments here in the headquarters, brought to you by USAA. And Study, I noticed that little orange thing on your shirt, brother. What is that? What's going on there, and how come I don't have one?
This thing right here, oh yeah, it's a poppy pin that was sent to me by USAA, and it's just to be able to support throughout the Memorial Day weekend, just for all of our military personnel, including my brother out there, who are out there just, you know, making sure that they are taking care of us back in the States, man. Just got to give a big shout out to them. We're always showing support. Shout out to USAA and the entire military branch for supporting us.
Copyinmemory.com, and of course that hashtag honor through action. We love USA. Thank you to all the veterans out there who are doing their part, and those in active service as well. Now let's talk about a little bit more Call of Duty, my friends. Of course, we've saw some wild stuff today. Study, you've got some search and destroy tips to be dropping on us. Some little bit of analysis, brother. You'll be talking about that last series. Give us the lowdown.
Yeah, so between those two teams in our last search and destroy, it was great. Because on the early side for OpTic, they started off just playing great search and destroy. Every single time they needed to 4v4 retake, it was coming in. But as the game started developing, Atlanta FaZe with those mid-game adjustments started hitting out certain areas. And in the very last round right here, they decided to put that pressure on towards lower B, cause all that havoc on that side of the map to allow Arcitys to all the way by himself rotate to that A bomb site, get a free bomb plant, and then eventually work a 4v4 flank. And this is what Atlanta FaZe, they were able to do by making those mid-game adjustments. You see right here in this last round that they put so much pressure on B, gave the free plant up to A, that now the opening is for Simp, who's going to be able to hit across the catwalk, catches one kill, and then eventually gets the second. And at this point, OpTic, they have to look forward, they have to turn around. There's just way too many angles right here for Atlanta FaZe to just capitalize on it. And that's just one thing that they did throughout the entire search and destroy. You start off slow, you make those mid-game adjustments, and eventually, with just the pressure that Atlanta FaZe were able to put on the map, OpTic was shook. They thought that once the noise was there, then that the bomb plant would be there, but Arcitys, the leader of this team, rotates over towards A and makes the heads-up play.
Yeah, and what OpTic didn't do there that most teams do on defense is they try to trap them, right? So they give up, they hold their flank while the other two players either push it out and go to the other side and pinch them into that command center, or, they go through mid-map and they set up the same sort of pinch. But instead, OpTic just gives up that area. They don't send anybody through there to try to set up that pinch, and Simp gets the free flank. And that happened 2 or 3 times where Simp got a big 2-piece to win them the round. And, you make mistakes like that, it's going to cost you when you're playing a team like FaZe. Like, throughout that map, I thought OpTic had some really good rounds. It just really comes down to those huge 2-pieces that they were giving up to Simp and the few times that they left their back open. You can't allow players to get behind you, especially in the middle of the round like that. You have to cover all your bases before you set up your convergence onto the bomb site.
Beautiful stuff out of Atlanta FaZe. And again, seeing that search and destroy coach certainly paying off. That investment has indeed. Look how good they're looking on the map right now. But they're not just looking good on the map, friends. They're also looking real good in the points. Those CDL points presented by Game Fuel. Oh, baby. Atlanta FaZe, they've got plenty of them. 360. And frankly, man, they're nowhere near finished. Now, this is where things get dangerous, fellas. We'll talk about these points. Talk about how important they are to accumulate throughout the year, because we're only sending the top 8 to champs. So you look at the difference there. That little bubble, oh, it's getting scary there. Boys, I mean, do we have... here's a question. Here's a big one. Of all those teams there, again, we obviously have the top dogs really set in stone there. But for you, I mean, what are the bottom teams there? Who are the guys down low who you think can make that decent run into the majors and maybe even make it towards champs?
Yeah, I'll go first. So I think Surge, to me, looks like they have the highest ceiling. Looking at their match they played, Hardpoint was unbelievable. I mean, Prestinni has kept it up consistently over the course of the last few months. I mean, the guy in the beginning of the season, he was terrible, and he's picked it up. And now looking at their roster that they have at this moment, their Hardpoint looks great. Their control, they were one moment with an advantage, by the way, away from winning that control, and they would have won the series 3-1 at that point. I like the way that Octane's playing. He looks fantastic in their last match, so I'm going to go with Surge. I think they have the ability to do it. It'll just be if they can get it down consistently. It'll start with that control.
Yeah, and for me, the team that I think can make a run throughout the later stages of the major, and Miles, you're probably going to be happy with this one, I'm going to go with London. And the reason why is because they just picked up Afro. They also have re-added Alex to the roster. And just watching them in that matchup, in their first matchup throughout this week, they were really playing well. It was just those submachine gun players. Obviously, they go all the way to a Game 5. They weren't able to close it out. But today was a completely different story. Just this team is just so brand new that they have to work out their kinks in search and destroy. They have to learn how they want to play when it comes to those respawns, because we know what kind of talent that they have between Alex and Afro. They're both playing at such a high pace with those SMGs that if they just learn how to play with each other and only being down 70 points from that 8th spot, I feel like they will be able to start chaining some wins together with just more chemistry in due time.
Chemistry in due time and practice. It is possible. You're not wrong, mate. But again, starting to get towards crunch time. We're starting towards the latter end of the year, and it's going to be very, very difficult indeed for these teams to make those points. Now, the only other teams, playing at home, obviously they're playing for points. We're also playing for points, and we hope you're playing for points as well, because the pick'ems, friends, don't forget about the pick'ems. If you haven't already, jump over to the website. But for us, as the talent crew, this one, Chance is he's whooping us. Oh, you missed the day,
I missed an entire day, dude. Yeah. Sucks.
Oh my god. Well, look, I mean, I'm just about ahead of you. I had a couple of stinkers, of course, the upsets we saw earlier on today. Lottie's having a tough time, but there he is. That's my guy right there, the crown champ of the pick'ems this stage
Chance.
so far. Lovely work, Chance. He looks good in the crown. He does, I must admit. But don't worry, friends. That crown is going to be coming home to someone else next time. But there we go, boys and girls. What a wonderful day of Call of Duty this truly has been. I mean, fellas, between the upsets, between everything crazy we've seen, I don't even know where to put this. Or I don't know where to put us now going into this major. We're going back to LAN. Can't wait. Still got a couple of weeks of play. It's going to be lit, friends. It's going to be lit. And I think that is it, though. We're done for the show today, boys and girls. I appreciate everyone's time here and patience. We had a wonderful run. The Chicago home series has come to an end. On behalf of myself, Nameless Study, all the crew, everyone behind the camera, and those up in the clouds, thank you so much. We'll see you next time. The Ravens unable to really get anything going together, Chance. They're just so cut apart, individual plays. Streaks now for Neptune just to slow that side of the map. 20 seconds remaining. This could be it.
I'm there, just frankly bullies to this point. +8 for Skies, +8 for Havoc, positive whatever the hell for Neptune. And, well, Awakening struggling in this game greatly. Just kidding. Fried that man, and, well, all the kills going the way. Florida doing a little dance, capping off this series win in a dominant fashion.
If you're Empire, you've still got a shot here. You can hold. But you have to be efficient in the lives count.
Yeah, that's the problem. We talked about how efficient Toronto Ultra have been at trading. There's one of those moments, though, that doesn't happen. Vivid's able to catch 2 off guard. What inside he's going on a mantle, he probably doesn't mean to. But it's tough, right? Because how do you balance fighting middle of the map and giving up lives the way they just did with maybe turtling up? And, well, they try to get aggressive Shotzzy and Crim, but they get caught. Now it's 4 dead, and now you have control of the point. Toronto Ultra, they're going to win that one. They're going to 3-0 Dallas Empire. They get right back to it. With 25 seconds, you see all the white arrows. They are soaring across the middle of the map. They want to end this right now.
Yeah, how different is this from round one, right? Round one, they give it up and hold for 2 minutes. Not this time, not with that amount of time on the clock at a 2-0 edge. They want to end it, break the back of OpTic. And that's exactly what they're doing. Look at the position of FaZe and everybody in gym and garage right now for OpTic. You are just coming up the gunfights, and now it's going to be streaks on Arcitys, sitting at 13-6. What a series he has had. They don't have a shot to get to it. Time will dwindle, and FaZe 3-0 the control. They 3-0 the series. They are simply too good.